Buenos días, ya en directo desde la Cúpula del Milenio en Valladolid. Charlie, gran final por equipos en esta jornada de domingo.
Good morning, everybody, here on the last day, the last competitive day of puzzling. It's teams time in the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championships 2025 from Valladolid in Spain.
Todavía no sabemos qué es lo que va a ocurrir, pero os voy a pedir un fortísimo aplauso para todos los equipos participantes.
So let's have a round of applause for all of you. Applaud yourselves. Applaud everyone else.
Esos más de 100 equipos que hoy buscan estar arriba entre los más rápidos. Estamos acercándonos a ese último minuto en el que van a abrir las bolsas, van a ver estos puzzles inéditos de 1000 piezas. Ese es su reto de esta mañana y tendrán que elegir por cuál empiezan.
That's it, 2 minutes away from the bag opening time when you'll see these puzzles for the first time, unpublished. 1,000-piece Ravensburger puzzles.
Os recuerdo también que en cuanto se inicie la prueba, en la carpa de Caja Rural de Zamora se van a poder adquirir estos puzzles de momento inéditos y que no están en el mercado.
And that's right, and you'll be able to get these puzzles available for purchase as soon as this competition gets underway in under 3 minutes time now.
Y ya sabéis que a lo largo de todo el campeonato, también en esta jornada hay gente que ha madrugado un poquito más, que trasnochó ayer un poquito más para que esta sala esté preparada. Ese maravilloso grupo de voluntarias y voluntarios.
So let's have another round of applause for the amazing volunteers who've been up good part of the night to make sure everything's ready for this morning's competition.
Que han realizado un trabajo absolutamente maravilloso.
They have. And of course, I mean, all the technical team, the cameraman here, you, Eva, Ernesto down here. It's an incredible feat that you put together the last 7 days.
Y vemos por aquí abajo del escenario lo que serán algunos de los premios que se van a entregar a eso de la 1:30 de la tarde.
That's right. And then not following this, we'll have the prize ceremony. We're standing above some of the prizes, but Eva, time is ticking down.
El tiempo está llegando a ese casi último minuto, esa primera decisión estratégica importante que sin duda alguna puede marcar el devenir de la prueba. De momento toda la emoción en la sala, esos nervios y esa tensión. Vamos a abrir las bolsas en 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Podéis abrir las bolsas.
Open your bags.
Murmullo en la sala. Acaban de saber cuál es ese puzzle, esos 2 puzzles de 1000 piezas inéditos a los que se van a tener que enfrentar durante las próximas 3 horas. Eligiendo por cuál empiezan, porque en este caso tienen que resolver los 2. En caso de que ningún equipo, creo que no será así, complete los 2 puzzles, se hará el recuento de piezas.
Let's hope that's not the case, then we don't have to go to a piece count. So, one more question.
Venga, últimos segundos, ¿estáis preparadas y preparados? Vamos allá.
You ready? In
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. ¡Adelante! ¡Suerte!
Hello and welcome to the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championships 2025 Teams Final. I'm Jim Eakins and next to me is the incomparable Rob Shields of Peace Talks Podcast. Rob, how's it going today?
It's going great. I tell you, Jim, we have had oppressive heat this week. We've had hail, we've had thunderbolts and lightning. We've even had torrential rain outside and a little bit of inside the dome. But today it's a beautiful, sunny, cool temperature day outside, even though it's a little muggy here in the dome, for some team competitive jigsaw puzzling.
Yeah,
Jim, what do you think of these puzzles?
I think these are absolutely gorgeous, and it's a really good split of things that teams are going to be good at in different puzzles. Over here we have this Aurora over Kirkjuvell. It's a fantastic landscape image of an Icelandic mountain with this aurora over top of it, this little waterfall inside of there. There's so many colors in that sky, it might be a little tricky in order to work out, and I think a lot of people might start in the middle and work their way out, or kind of do the outline of that landscape and then divide it up that way. On this other puzzle, it's Ladybug Lane by Julie's. It's a very tricky, busy puzzle, but look at how distinct those colors are that are inside of there. It's going to be really good to pull by component and then work around that. I think some of these buildings are going to be really nice, like this lime off blue right here. That sky is going to be nice. It's going to be really interesting because both of these puzzles are going to show a lot of different techniques and strategies that teams are going to have to use.
Yeah, I was immediately excited by this. I mean, it's no surprise that folks, they usually pull a couple of different capabilities for the finals in the teams, but I was glad to see two things that are pretty divergent in terms of skill sets, so that we can really put the puzzlers to the test.
Absolutely, and we have the top puzzlers in the world here. This is just going to be a star-studded event. You can see in the lower left-hand corner here, that is the Czech Puzzle Queens, a fantastic team with pairs that have won consistently. They're wonderful. In the upper right-hand corner, that is table 4. That is the O's and A's with Ella, Inga, Sin, and Tiun. And I didn't name the Czech Puzzle Queens. I should do that real quick. That's Jana, Katarina, Teresa, and Marketa.
Yeah, and then in the upper left-hand corner, we got the EJJ squad, the Euro Jigsaw Jacks. That's Kiara, Kati, Hannah, and Victor. Really excited to see what they have going on today. And then, of course, in the lower right-hand corner, the Aussie All-Stars. Big fans of theirs with Hannah, Melissa, Katrina, and Rihanna. And just a reminder that at least myself will be continuing to butcher names in the most positive meaning way. You can see that I'm even butchering names that I'm really familiar with, so please forgive us for any sins on that nature as we try and get you the info as we have it. I'm curious about this, the Aurora puzzle, because to me it looks dark in a lot of it. And we have seen that dark on the puzzle box means even darker on the puzzle itself.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, Ravensburger's on the images, it tends to run about 15% darker on the pieces than it does on the image. So it can be a little tricky once you get down into the depths of that. I'm kind of surprised at the split about which teams picked which puzzle to do first. I think that some of the teams think that it's going to get brighter throughout the day. So they might have picked Ladybug because it has really good contrast early, and then they'll go to the Aurora one once it brightens up a little bit.
I love that people have to keep the outside conditions in mind when doing puzzles. We've seen that as in the dome it got darker over time, and so people had to choose their darker puzzles first, the ones that they really needed light for, and now that it's getting brighter over time, same thing in play.
Yeah, and it's going to be really exciting. We're about 3 minutes and 42 seconds into this, and a lot of the top teams have already completed their flip and have the initial pulls. Most teams will do the full flip and get the border pull in the first 2 minutes and 15 seconds or so, and then they're going to start getting targets after that. You can see in the lower right-hand corner at table 12, that's going to be the Puzzle Marauders. That's Gisela, Alejandro, Laura, and Rafael, which has two-time world champion Alejandro, Gisela, the fantastic pairs from Spain. They are not messing around. It looks like they picked the Aurora puzzle, and look at the amount of sorting that they've done in the lower right-hand corner of it.
Yeah, they've got all those blues and various tints out there. That is great, but I'm not surprised that the rest of the stuff is looking increasingly like massive dark.
Absolutely. The upper right-hand corner, that is the Whimsy pieces with Mari Black, Hannah Sigler, Sammy Brownlow, and Karen Nill from the U.S. And it looks like they've opted to go for the Ladybug Lane, and they almost have that full border complete at about 4 minutes and 37 seconds in. It's sorted, and it looks like two of them are doing more sorting ahead of time.
Yeah, that is, it's an interesting border. It's got a lot of information in it, and potentially more information than I would like, especially along the bottom. There's just a lot of chaos going on there, and so finding exactly where things go can be a little bit tricky. But yeah, it's not surprising to see that they've got two people standing up that border right away, cruising right along. pulling a bunch of supplementary sorts, some projects for other folks to start on as soon as the border's done.
Yeah, teams is all about setting other people up for success.
Yep.
You know, if you just if everybody's a selfish puzzler, then you can only go so fast. But a well-oiled machine is really what takes a team from being 4 individuals and being this megazord of people that come together to really go quick. You can see at table 5 in the upper left-hand corner, that's the Fast 4 from Germany. That's Mara, Anna, Magdalena, and Nina. And they are also doing a pretty sizable sort on that Aurora puzzle early on.
And then down in the lower left, we've got Todos Alacalle with Soraya, Alejandro Gago, Eduardo, and Gabi, the sort of young Wunderkind, if you will, of this competition, I think. So it'll be really exciting to see how they play out here.
We have a little poem in the chat from Rainbow Cutie saying, "Sweden's here to steal the show. Puzzle finals, here we go. With their glow, they got the flow. They'll be faster than the fan airflow." I am here to let you know. Thank you very much for that. That's adorable.
So you were talking about sort of division of labor. As a person who sort of does coaching and other sort of team advising, what do you see as a good set of functions that you want to have a team comprised of personally?
So, the bottom line is always it depends on who you have. But in an ideal situation, you have one person that their job is to do assembly. And as soon as they get fed the pieces, all they do is put things together as quickly as they can. We just got a little heads up from the field. It looks about 95% of people picked Ladybug first, and 5% picked Aurora first. So interesting split on that. But you want one person that their primary job is assembly, and then you want to have 2 people that are focused on sorting and feeding early on, and then that third person can float between those 2 jobs depending on what the puzzle is. Because sometimes you need delivery, sometimes you need somebody that's spotting where to put things. Sometimes you need just an air traffic controller that's going to make sure that if there's a lot of movement between positions, that people aren't running over top of each other, sort of doing a lot of those spot checks.
And it looks like on the Whimsy pieces, they've got their assemblers, I assume, are going to be Sammy and Mari there, and they hit the border as the first task in the assembly. Often you'll have a border person, especially in teams or in an individual. You might be a border person, but your assemblers don't always do the borders. They're off doing other things. So does that tend to be how you assign them in a team situation?
Yeah, a lot of people focus on their job is the border. Mm-hmm. If you're good at the border, that's 126 pieces, about 12% of the whole puzzle already knocked out
on 1,000,
which is fantastic.
That is it.
But then where do you go from there?
Exactly.
So border is a really good starting point, but you have to be able to keep turning the crank after that. We're about 8 minutes in, and you can see over here in the lower left-hand corner, the Czech Puzzle Queens, they're doing the border in components, and several of them are there's a little bit of sorting going on. The trays are being used in a lot of different ways. They're doing a lot of sorting up front in order to try to save themselves time later on.
Right, and they've got, it looks like Marquetta working on the border right there in a sort of condensed format, which is a really great way of giving the sorting a lot of extra space to do some work. At some point, she's going to have to push that out. And I find, as a less competitive puzzler, obviously these are world-class puzzlers we're looking at here. Expanding those pieces out into the border means that you've got to move a bunch of pieces out of the way. So generally, I prefer like we're seeing the EJJ team in the upper left-hand corner doing, where they just sort of reserve some space right off the front.
You can see, the EJJ team, not only are they working on the upper border, but they each have their own projects that they're working on. I really like how Kati is getting that landscape line, that boundary between the sky and the grass there, and that's going to be able to give a really good anchor point for them to work out from either side. But over on table 4 with the O's and A's, they almost have that full border in, but they are doing a lot of sorting up front, and that's one of the things that Ella and Inga excel at, is that color acuity and being able to pull that really accurately.
Yeah, I'm not surprised they chose this puzzle first. It sits right in their sweet spot. It's a Dutch team. They like busy puzzles. These guys, especially these 4 people, are really amazing at busy puzzles, so it feels like the one you want to pick up and knock out and move on to the next one. Everybody has picked this one, so that's not deep and meaningful insight, but it really is. It fits right with how they do their puzzling.
Yeah, and joining us at the table here, I don't like butchering names. Please tell us your name.
Pelin from Turkey, from Turkish Puzzle Association.
Welcome.
Thank you.
What do you think of these puzzles?
Wow, the second one is actually hard. I would also choose the first puzzle, this colored one. It's more cheerful, you can say. And I'm wondering how long it will take them to do it, because they're really, really fast.
Yeah, I pulled some stats on times to complete historically, and the fastest 500-piece puzzle on myspeedpuzzling.com was finished in about, let me see if I can find that here, 27 minutes and 15 seconds. That was Ravensburger's Needlework Station, done by many of the people in this room, but not as a single team. But the other day, the Czech Puzzle Queens knocked one out in 27:27, which is only 12 seconds behind the fastest recorded time that I could find.
500 pieces?
Yeah, 1,000 pieces.
1,000 pieces, okay.
Yeah, 1,000 pieces. And so that's some pretty incredible times in the room for this. So I suspect that we will see these go by pretty quickly.
I will say that important thing to keep in mind, those were on pre-released puzzles where people had seen those before. Maybe somebody on the team had done them, so that really comes into play. This is a huge equalizer where nobody has done these puzzles before.
Yeah, absolutely. I was mostly giving that as an idea of what could be done.
Oh yeah, sort of the max ideal.
Yeah.
And it's only getting faster. Over the past several years, we've seen this huge push in just technique and style and strategy that's really taken the times and slashed them in half in a lot of cases. It wasn't that long ago a team puzzle being done in an hour and 40 minutes was considered the ideal pace, right? And now we're getting times down and well under an hour, and these folks are flying right here. You can see in the lower left-hand corner, table 7 there, they almost have that entire purple-white line of the Aurora locked out, and I love that strategy because now they're going to be able to box in the upper part of that Aurora and then work down as well.
I went and pulled the fastest 1,000 every year from the world's puzzlers for the teams. And in 2019, the fastest 1,000-piece teams puzzle was done in 44 minutes 41 seconds by the Czech Dragons. In 2022, it goes to 43 minutes 55 seconds by Team Nonstop. In 2023, it was 34:59 by the Misfits. In 2024, it was 34:21. By the Czech Puzzle Queens, and so far in 2025, it's been the Czech Puzzle Queens as well at 27:27. So those are all opportunities to have previously released puzzles. It's whatever puzzle was the fastest that year, and you can see just the march of time, the march of progress as we move along the years and how much faster everybody's getting.
There was actually one year where nobody could finish, only the champion. You remember, it was 1,000 pieces plus 1,500 pieces with the bridge. It was unbelievable. It was very difficult. I'm happy to see that these puzzles are not that difficult. They can be done in, as you said, in a few minutes, maybe like 1 hour or 50 minutes, or even maybe 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's definitely been the case that at the Worlds they've sort of been adjusting their team's format. It used to be that it was 4 1,000s, or it was like 5,000 pieces worth of puzzles, and then that took 4 hours for people to complete. It moved down to 3,500 pieces the following championship. And now we're in the 2,000-piece era, which I think is a good, doable set of pieces to do. And they found puzzles that aren't going to make the best teams in the world struggle so much that they're the only ones who can finish it.
Yeah, we're coming up on the 14-minute line here. In the upper right-hand corner, we have the Lowland Linkers with Ina, Angelica, Tamar, and Denise. And they wanted to give a quick shout-out to Johannes, who had to stay home, and his puzzle fixes. They are excited and really, really just wanted to say hi, and they care about you a lot. So, well on ya. In the upper left-hand corner, we have the Puzzle Marauders from Spain. That's Gisela, Alejandro, Laura, and Rafael, and they're moving around. You can see the Aussie All-Stars there in the lower middle. They just did a pretty big rotation of those puzzle boards. It's interesting which teams decide to use those the large-size puzzle sorting trays versus the smaller ones. I sometimes think that the larger ones can get in the way a little bit, but on some puzzles where there is so much sorting that you have to do, they can come in handy.
Yeah, and it's worth saying about the Aussie All-Stars. This is a team I'm a big fan of. I have a podcast episode about them. Go check it out. They are delightful, as much as you might expect. But they have the second fastest time in a Worlds competition set just before the Puzzle Queens set theirs. So no joke, they're here to compete.
Oh, absolutely. They, and everyone is, and you can see how locked in the Aussie All-Stars are right there. And we take a quick glance over at the Fast Four, and that's a fantastic name for them because look, that white line between the purple and the blue on that Aurora is really, really smart to pull out and get locked in. And this is what I was saying earlier. They have the full border, and then they have that line between the landscape and the sky already worked out. So that way you can have you can have pairs of the team sort of divide and conquer which way they're going to work on this.
Yeah, the upper part and the lower part you can divide actually. So
yeah, and I find it deeply satisfying. So for me personally, I'm glad they have done that. Also, worth mentioning, as you said, that their name is apt because the sort of poster child team that is here, the Euro Jigsaw Jacks, the sort of super team, they did extremely well in their round, but the Fast Four were only 11 seconds behind them. So they are aptly named and in the competition.
Yeah, we almost missed their finish because we thought they were on their first puzzle. They had done it so quickly and got a little confused. But they are hot on the heels. You can see the Euro Jigsaw Jacks. They are doing that similar tactic of getting the outline and then branching out above and below. And I really like the use of getting that really dark purple along with the white line of that Aurora, and you can see that Kati and Hana are double teaming that a little bit, and it looks like Victor's doing a lot of sorting for the team right now. Lower left-hand corner with the Czech Puzzle Queens, you can see that little projects are being delivered in the frame, and this is really cool early on whenever there's a lot of space, and you can drop a project that's maybe between 6 to 15 pieces, and then your assembler can zipper those together very, very quickly and start rotating those through. In the late game, it can get a little nerve-wracking because if you have too many projects sitting in the middle, you can end up with pieces floating and it kind of obscures the view, and we call it blocking the box a little bit.
Yeah, it's interesting how these two puzzles are coming together very differently. It's a great showcase of the different styles, as we were talking about before, of putting things together. The sort of bright color one is much more of a pick and place sort of thing. There's a lot of small projects, so you're seeing it sort of come together all over the puzzle simultaneously, and we'll see probably a lot of gaps that just get filled at the end, whereas the landscape puzzle is being filled sort of from one area out, sort of from that middle up and down, and so what we'll probably see are bands of areas that need to be finished at the end of that one.
You don't see actually on the screen, but the Spanish team here, they are really doing well. You see, like they finished the middle and also the upper part, the pink part of the puzzle. So I'm really excited who will finish first this puzzle.
Yeah, that's Todos Akaye over there, just right off the front of us. And they've got a great middle section going, and Soraya's hands are going just amazingly fast.
Yeah, they're really fast. Look at them.
Yeah, there's so many levels to speed puzzling that can really make or break success on a team, and one of them is the physicality to just keep a fast hand speed for a very long time. We're coming up on 18 minutes and 30 seconds in this competition, and so that initial adrenaline hit of being shot out of a cannon and starting in on that first puzzle in this team's final, that's starting to wear off, and now you have to start relying on your the skills you've been training for, relying on your team in order to remind you if you're starting to lag a little bit. All those things start really kicking in at this stage, Rob.
Yeah, do you think that given what we've seen so far that we're on track for about 30 minutes for the first puzzle for anybody, or are these more challenging puzzles this time?
I think it will take more.
What's your guess?
Maybe 38 minutes, something
48?
like that. 38, yeah,
38
about
minutes?
40 minutes.
Yeah, I think
because many haven't even finished the half of the puzzle yet. So.
Yeah, I think the big difference for the Aurora puzzle is going to be how dark those pieces sit in the lower half. It does look like there's some purple water in there that might make life easier, but we're probably going to be sitting closer to 35, maybe 40 for that one.
This is a difficult one actually.
Yeah.
For me, it's more difficult than the other. So, like some people prefer to do this kind of puzzles with the same colors, but I prefer the mixed color puzzles.
Yeah.
The other one, which is much more easier for me. But look at Soraya, they are really fast.
Yeah, they are. They're really cruising.
They're flying right now. And I really like the tactic of pulling out the white pieces where you can, because those waterfalls on that left-hand side, they're going to show up, and that's going to be a really good anchor point to work forward. You know, these big landscapes are tend to be favored and really enjoyed in Europe. Yep. So this might be an image that is very similar to ones that they've seen before, and they already know how to operate.
So I'm curious, what is the puzzling scene like in Turkey?
Yeah, we love puzzles, but we are not that fast, to be honest. And regretfully, we need actually visa in order to come to Spain. And my teammates, they couldn't get a visa. That's a big problem. So that's the reason why I'm the only one. And we don't have actually here the Turkish team, regretfully. But we were last year 12 people. We had actually 3 teams. And 6 pairs. It was great. Maybe next year we will do it again. They have to apply actually for the visa like 2 or 3 months before. So it was a pity. But
yeah, traveling can definitely be a challenge to getting here, and it's unfortunate that, especially with countries who have a competition area that's starting to flourish, that it's not easier to get to worlds where they can show off their skills.
Yeah, I mean, like we actually, the Turkish Puzzle Organization, we have been organizing competitions since 2011. And our association is established in 2017.
It's been around for a very long time.
Yeah, it is. But the problem here was actually we are not too used to compete that much. We are much more relaxed. We are having fun. We do puzzles when having actually dinner or something like that. So this is speed puzzling is completely something different. Yeah.
Yeah, there's another Australian team down there in the lower left-hand corner, which seems to be doing really well. I don't see a table number there, and I don't happen to know offhand who
the Aussies are really good. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they have a huge representation at Worlds this year, which is really, really exciting to see. And they're just fantastic humans across the board. A lot of the Australians have been volunteering to help with the judge shortage that we've had. They've really stepped up, and it's been really fun to see. In the upper left-hand corner, that's Lynn Puzzlern from Denmark with Astrid, Iris, Sophie, and Olivia, and they. Astrid and Iris, I know them fairly well. Their color acuity on being able to work through gradients is phenomenal, and you could see that Sophie is also doing a great job in that upper left-hand corner. But that purple water also seems to be going pretty well. Those waterfalls stick out inside of that puzzle well.
You know, it's funny. I was watching at the early stages, Olivia doing some individual rounds. And she is definitely a chaos puzzler. She was like building inside just a big mass of puzzles, and then just kind of everything would sort of come together, but it wasn't like she sorted things out, and it was really fun to watch.
And there are actually different ways to do it. Some people do only the corners. I personally pick up only one piece from the box and put it to the coordinates. I don't sort.
Really?
Yeah, I'm using mathematics in a way. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the reason why I'm not that fast. Because I only use my right hand, but still I enjoy it.
This is table 15, Big Jig Energy with Jessica, Sarah, Tina, and Marita. Tina is, one of the fastest puzzlers in Australia. This whole team is super strong, and you can see why. They have that line between the sky and the ground lined out. They have that purple line through. I think they're about even with the Spanish team right now, maybe even ahead.
Yeah, it is interesting to see. It's a little challenging to see exactly how far people are, because I'm looking at table 3 up there, and then I'm looking at the Spanish team down on the right-hand side, and they've got different parts done. They may have a similar weight done. Actually, I think the Euro Jigsaw Jacks may have just a few more pieces in there. It's a little hard to follow, but it's great to see how fast these are coming together.
Oh, absolutely. And we're coming up on the 24-minute line. I will say that outside, I think there's some sort of marathon or bicycle race going on.
Cycling.
Yeah.
Bicycle.
So there's a lot of speakers and music's being played outside. You know, the whole Worlds this year, there's been all sorts of environmental factors. There's been heat. There's been rain.
Heat was awful. I think that was the most difficult thing, because when you are doing puzzle, you don't like the heat at all. So
Oh, absolutely. But you can see that these teams are locked in, and you have to wonder, when is the fatigue going to start sitting in? Not just from puzzling for about 25 minutes, but from a whole week of excitement and puzzling. That all really starts to add up at a certain stage. But but they're just flying away.
Yeah.
You can see that they're still doing a little bit of sorting, and that's really smart because you can make all these micro advantages as you're going through, and that's going to give your team the best shot moving forward. It's not just, well, we did a sort and we're done. It's let's keep turning the crank. How can we make life easier for our teammates? How can we set other people up for success?
That's right. As the designated sorter on my team, a lot of what I do is I do a first bulk sort where I just like colors that are approximately the same, and then we do subsorts of that as time goes on. Because sometimes I'll have a teammate finish really fast a project that they're working on and just pick up a color pile, and they will sort of just pull out the project they need because they already know what's going on. And like you said, we're just continually sorting. Sorting can be a full-time job throughout a lot of the puzzle.
Well, absolutely. I mean, on a 1,000-piece puzzle, everybody wants to be the hero, be the one that like puts the pieces in, gets everything lined up. Like that feels like the best spot. Sorting is the hardest job on a 1,000-piece puzzle.
I hate sorting, to be honest. No, it's not what I like.
Yeah, I'm actually quite a big fan of it. I enjoy sorting. I would sort the entire puzzle.
Really?
Yeah, when we were in our team's heat, I was like, once we're done sorting, can I just leave? Like, I've done the part that I really wanted to.
Yeah. There's some folks in the chat saying they can't believe that they're going this fast. Well, think of it this way. If every person on that team is able to get 10 pieces in a minute, which is a pretty decent pace for a solo 500, get that in under 50 minutes, that means that the entire team is going to be able to get about 40 pieces in that minute. So you look away and all of a sudden another big chunk of the puzzle's done. You look away for 2 minutes and they have another 10% knocked out. And that's if they're slowing down.
My guess was 39 minutes. We will see what's going on here. Maybe they can be even faster. Look at the Sorayas. They are like
It does seem like it's going to come together fast, although obviously what they have left is the dark nebulous parts that are going to slow them down quite a bit.
That takes a little bit of time, the dark area, normally.
That's right. Down in the lower left-hand corner, I don't think we've talked about them yet, the question marks from Poland. That's Natalia, Justina, Christian, and Zuzana. And they look like they're making some pretty great progress as well.
Oh, yeah. And I think is that Christian?
Yeah, Christian,
okay,
upper right-hand corner of the lower left-hand corner.
He's one of those puzzlers that does giant landscape puzzles just for funsies on his own. So this is definitely in his wheelhouse, and that's really going to help the team because he is a specialist on those like ground and tree areas. So he might be able to really put them on an edge on this puzzle.
Look at them. They're almost doing the same parts. This is really incredible.
Oh, you're right. The same gaps in the top, too.
Yep.
Wow.
Well, and it makes a lot of sense because these are the top puzzlers in the world, so they all have similar strategies that are optimized for this kind of thing. And whenever you have small little differences, they're going to ignore those, jump over them, and come back later, and that's why you're seeing those same gaps pop up in similar places. I think the Spanish team in the lower right-hand corner, they're almost at that point in the sky where any piece they pick up can go in. They can use just the shape of the piece, brute force it to lock it in, even if the color is a little wish-washy.
Yeah, and I really enjoy seeing this team because they are sort of the harbingers of the teams to come. Soraya, obviously a stalwart in this competition, deeply capable, but then you've got Eduardo and Gabi brothers who are just able to, I think Gabi is just able to compete individually this year, just destroying the puzzle, and then obviously Alejandro there filling in, and he's been on pairs that have been doing great as well. So it's really great to see the young folks in here, the youngest possible folks in here competing.
Yeah, I think they are the youngest team, though, right? From the
probably
age.
on average, yeah. I wonder which. I think the Spanish team is going to finish that sky first, and then they're going to have this problem where everybody is going to be on the lower half of the puzzle at the same time. So how do you get 4 people to work in a small area simultaneously? Are they going to move somebody over to the bottom so they have 3 down, 1 up, or are they going to scoot the puzzle up a little bit so that way everybody has access? That's what I was hoping for.
Yeah, if you get a chance, watch Soraya's hands, because I know we were talking about him earlier, but we have a sort of up close and personal look at him here, and I just can't stop looking at how fast her hands move when she gets going.
Oh, and look at the Denmark team in the upper right-hand corner. Because they already have those waterfalls lined out, after they finish the sky, they have so many really good anchor points to start sunbursting out from. And by that, I mean you start in one place, and then you start building the outline from there. You keep going and going and going. Unlike that ladybug puzzle where we see a lot of teams putting down anchor points and building islands. In this case, you start in one place and you radiate away from it as best as you can.
This mixed team, like number 3, the table, they may finish even like 35 minutes or something like that. Not even maybe less than this.
Yeah, possibly a few minutes less there because they're closing in on it. It all depends on how hard these last places are. But as Jim was saying, they've got a bunch of small stripes, so they're not really working on a big area. So the areas that they can put these individual pieces in is fairly confined.
Oh yeah, and it's really cool. You can see that Kiara in the upper left of the EJJ squad, she's also doing little micro sorts even then to set the team up for success.
And it looked like, because I've been fascinated about this all week, it looked like she was sorting blacks on the black tablecloth, or the dark tablecloth. I guess it's not black, but it's blue, possibly to enhance the contrast of those really dark pieces, to give it something, you're looking at sort of dark on dark, and it can help kind of expose the different colors a little easier to the human eye. So I wonder if that was what she was doing, because that would be amazing.
That would be the hope. There's always this weird space where you can put dark on dark and you can see the contrast, but it can also be dangerous, because if you put dark on dark, it can get lost and just evaporate inside of that field, and that's where you end up with cases of pieces kind of going missing on you unintentionally.
Yeah.
So if you can see it, it's a great strategy.
Whenever actually I'm at home, I always use dark cartoon, for example. I do my puzzle on the cartoon, a black one. I don't know, but I see actually much more better, as you said. Then you see the differences much more easier.
Right, your eye doesn't have to fight by going from something really dark to something really light. It's just looking at the differences in those dark colors.
Oh yeah,
and we're seeing a lot of trays now coming up onto the puzzles, which is great. It's interesting that Victor has trays up on some open areas. I tend to want to just have trays. On our team, we call out if we're going to cover anything. I'm sure that they're well ahead of us on that front. But getting the trays so that the pieces are as close as possible to where you're going to do it, so you can go back and forth with your eyes without having to sort of readjust, refocus. Your hands can move really fast. It's a great way of keeping the flow moving quickly.
Yeah, we're getting ready to cross the 32-minute mark, and the EJJ squad is getting ready to close out the sky, and then they're going to have 4 people trying to get the rest of that ground together. I really hope that they've done a decent sort on that, because then whenever you have the full squad in there, everybody's going to be able to pick a target and start hammering away at it, rather than having any confusion coming into a new area after working on it for 30 minutes.
Yeah, this is to your earlier point where an investment in sorting could really pay off.
I like the T-shirt of this team, of the number 3 table.
The EJJ squad?
Yeah, because they have all these countries' flags, and on the back they have their pictures. This is cute.
They also wanted
very
to make
well designed.
Yeah, they also wanted to make it a reference to the Euro Jigsaw jams that they've all competed in, that Michelle Casper runs, and that's kind of where they met and got together, and it's really exciting. I think they might be able to keep this under 35 minutes if they really put the pressure on. You can see that they've put that board on top of the part of the puzzle that's complete, and now they're going to get their hands entangled a little bit trying to finish out the bottom, but they are so fast puzzlers individually that I think they're going to be able to work together really well here.
Victor finished his first round puzzle in 22 minutes 2 seconds, so they are really, really fast.
Oh yeah, and you can see in the upper right-hand corner, that's table 21, Eat Our Puzzle Dust, with Meryl, Amka, Laura, and Clara from Germany, and they are coming in they're starting to come in on the close for this Aurora puzzle as well.
Yeah, and they've got 2 different sections still in play here, and it seemed like they had more complete in the lower half, but it looks like I'm seeing some gaps now. I was going to say that gives it a nice dichotomy, a nice split for them to be able to work in teams on one side and teams like pairs on one side, pairs on the other side.
Yeah, we sometimes call it buddying up.
Is that right?
Yeah, so that way you have a buddy that is working on a very large section. In an ideal case, everybody would have their own project, but whenever things are spread out so far like this on a landscape, having a buddy help out and just try to brute force things a little bit, that can make life easier.
How do you use a buddy in that situation? Is it just like you're just both kind of working on that part of the board, or are you coordinating more deeply than that?
Yeah, you can coordinate and say, I'm going for the dark part of this, and and you go for the light part of this, or maybe we both need to go for the darks and try to iron in this one little section. That way, communication is huge, because if you're both diving for the exact same piece at the exact same time, it's a waste of seconds, right? Mm-hmm. And so being able to stay organized and even try to just say, this piece definitely doesn't go on the left-hand side, here you go. Yeah. That can help keep the wheels moving.
Because you don't like to see many hands on the same place, when doing puzzle.
Yeah, as a spectator, it's great to see. As a participant, it's less great.
Well, it is very wild to be watching the people I consider my puzzle heroes, and in this upper echelon of speed puzzling right now, all in the same place. You can see that the Euro Jigsaw squad, the EJJ squad, apologies, in that left-hand corner, they're coming down on close. They have about 20 pieces remaining. They're not going to be able to keep it under 35, but this 36 is certainly possible with this crew. Table 21 is also doing fantastic. Their pieces are a little more split, and I'm not sure that they've been sorted ahead of time, but they're almost at that point of no ambiguity where they can just get the shape of the piece in.
Yeah, it's all long single wide strips, which is nice, and some gaps to fill, so they could get that put away pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, and it's going to be really wild here when the first applause happens. I'm curious how the rest of the field is going to react, because you don't know which puzzle someone else did. You don't know if they picked the harder one or if they picked an easier one.
Yeah,
and so that's going to be really exciting.
Wow. All right, there's the EJJ squad finished with their first puzzle, getting it quasi-trifold and just shoved off into a box there. They have to get all the pieces off the table, most of them into the box, before they can start the next puzzle, and they've got the next one out and starting, and away they go. So they're on to the ladybug puzzle.
Yeah, so about a 20-second changeover or so from that first puzzle to the second one. I think they did a solid job on that. We know there was some controversy in the earlier team rounds about could you just take the paper underneath and floor it on top of the puzzle, and that's been altered. Oh wow!
They finished also.
Yeah, they were right there.
Didn't have them out of the eye. They are less than a minute behind the EJJ squad right now.
Oh, the Eat Our Puzzle Dust, yep.
Wow.
Yeah, about 40 seconds or something like this.
Now, what will really matter is how the next puzzle goes, because maybe they're landscape specialists primarily, and so if they can handle a busy puzzle as fast as they can handle a landscape, then they're in a good place. But again, the two selections of puzzles here are really meant to divide and show all skills that people bring to bear. So we're going to see people trade places pretty heavily as they move into a totally different conceptual kind of puzzle.
I want to point out that EJJ squad, their turnover took maybe about 10 seconds. Mm-hmm. So those differences get them closer and closer to be able to catch up.
Yeah. And we see that very often that a matter of a few seconds counts. As we were talking about earlier, I think a difference between first and second place was 11 seconds. And so every second you can shave, as Jim's talking about shaving seconds off, it all matters.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And there goes the Danish team. Or sorry, the team from Denmark. One puzzler.
Lightning puzzlers, I think is what that means. Oh, got some going over the edge.
Really good changeover. And you can see that the Aussie All-Stars are getting ready to finish the Ladybug. I think they're going to be the first team to finish the Ladybug puzzle.
Yeah, and it'll be really interesting that if this is how much time this took them to do this particular puzzle, and this is potentially the more complicated puzzle to assemble for most people, if this sets them up really well to knock that landscape off.
Oh yeah, well, and this is where it's interesting, because is the team built around a busy puzzle? Is the team built around a landscape? What are the advantages that the team has as a whole in order to get going? We can see in the lower left-hand corner, Eat Our Blue Dust from Finland. There's two different Eat Our Dust. There's Eat Our Blue Dust from Finland and Eat Our Puzzle Dust from Germany. The Germany team is a little ahead right now, but they are doing fantastic and really coming into the close. The upper right-hand corner, table 11, that's Q Buzzle with Simone, Maya, Lena, and Stephanie from Germany, all flying in. You can see that there's pieces on the puzzle itself, but they're in that sky area, so there's so much color contrast that I'm not too worried that anything will get lost.
Yeah, it was a little disturbing for me as a spectator watching the other day when Victor had his dark puzzles on dark pieces on dark background as it was driving down to the last few seconds. So I'm happy to see that at least if you're going to put them on top of the puzzle, put them in a highly contrasted, highly visible area. Again, probably not a problem for somebody as skilled and practiced as Victor, honestly, but as not a thing that most of us should take away.
Oh yeah, and that's part of the thing. There's all sorts of tricks and tactics that one person can use that may not work for somebody else, regardless of if they're at the top or at the bottom of the food chain in the speed puzzle world, but just because that's how their eye sees color.
Yeah, we had a competition in my hometown in Portland where we had one of our puzzlers try a method that another puzzler used during the competition, and it just threw her hard because it doesn't play into her skills. So you really need to use the approaches that match the best with your skills, and they're going to look very different.
Yeah. And it looks like Edar Blue Puzzle Dust coming into the end here. Are they going to be able to keep this under 41? I'm pretty sure they're going to be able to. And the Spanish team is also really close to finishing up. I love the Australian move right there. They just did a round robin. They swapped the trays, so that way each side has access to new pieces rather than trying to like reach across the table to find things. And Edar Blue Puzzle Dust gets it in 418. Let's see the changeover. They're going to do a full roll, a cinnamon roll.
They're fast.
It goes in. Very nice. Maybe about 12 seconds. Here's the Spanish team just behind them, 40-32. Okay. They're going to do a hot dog and a hamburger fold, and they pick it up into the box.
Are you making these names up as you go?
No. Hot dog fold, hamburger fold. It's from a long while back.
So, Team 11 there, Q-Buzzle, what we thought was pieces sitting directly on the board are actually pieces sitting on a tray that is transparent.
Oh, they have a clear tray.
Yeah, so a little bit of both worlds there going on there. Yeah, down in the lower left-hand corner.
Trying to find the team name, but they are flying right now. You know, we see a lot of teams pick up the puzzle and then put it into the box. I think sliding it off saves you time because if anything falls apart in that process, you don't have to go back and try to pick them up. You can just shove them in. You can sort of sweep them right off.
You're saying just slide it across the board.
Yeah.
I'm sure that next year the teams will also practice how to fold it and put it into the boxes.
That's right. That choreography goes a long way. You can see in the right-hand side, that's table 15. That's Big Jig Energy getting ready to come into their close, and I believe that's Q-Buzzle who's going to finish this one out with a little bit of an advantage going into the next. I think it's going to be Big Jig Energy.
Yeah, and then in the upper left-hand corner, the Aussie All-Stars are slowing down because they're to the part where there's just a bunch of background gaps that need to be filled. Yeah. We've got a lot of excitement going on with the Czech Puzzle Queens over here.
Yeah. Look at that chain. Yes, that's what you want to see. A quick fold, a shove, and right in. That was under 7 seconds. Yeah, that's the kind of changeover that you want.
Well,
that's beautiful.
Big Jig Energy.
Yeah.
Let's see if the Osmays can do the same thing.
Yep. Yeah, and that's the tactic that's going to save you time. Yeah. We also saw that the Czech Puzzle Queens finished their first puzzle, and they did a really good changeover as well. This is going to be really tight, and now that they're on this second puzzle, how are things going to roll? I think this is Dome Sweet Dome from the U.S. Up for just a second.
And there's the Puzzle Queens getting their next flip started. Mm-hmm. Yep, Dome Sweet Dome coming up on the finish of the Ladybug puzzle, and similarly, just a lot of gaps to fill, a lot of bits to hunt down and put in place.
Yep. And this is where it's real tricky. Sometimes you want your team to point at where the holes are in the puzzle, so that way you know what you're looking for early. But if everybody's been studying their zones a little bit, you can lock in, grab those pieces, and get them done.
It's really interesting, and you said this earlier, Jim, that you don't know what puzzle everybody else has picked, so you don't know if you're the first to finish a hard puzzle or if you're the fifth to finish an easy puzzle until you actually get to the end, really.
Oh, yeah, and it's got to be, really nerve-wracking. Great changeover by Dome Sweet Dome.
Yeah, Hannah doing the fold and shove.
Yeah, it's got to be nerve-wracking because not only do you not know where anybody is, but there's also all of this running around from judges. The heat is going, there's sound outside. There's a lot of external confusion that plays in. Kind of a slower shove there in the upper right-hand corner.
It was tidy, but it could have been speedy.
Yep. But if it goes in and it saves you time, then it was the right way to go about it.
Got the Canadians down on Team 25, the Damn Good Puzzlers, with David Donaldson, Kati Duluth-Sicard, Daniel Engelson, and Tess McLaughlin. Looks like they're finishing up on their last bit of a kind of escape that you might see in Canada, I imagine.
We didn't. I don't know if we said their names earlier. Dome Sweet Dome in the upper left-hand corner. That's Kyle Coulson, Hannah Doyle, Emma Williamson, and Jasmine Lambert doing a great job.
As we see the Canadian team turning over. That's Tess there giving orders, and I wonder what's going on here, because I feel like they should be dumping faster than that.
I think they're double checking to make sure that everything is under the box, and now they're rolling. Sometimes just having space under the table matters, because you could have your bags underneath it there, or sometimes somebody's foot in the way. The Aussie All-Stars coming into the close on this Ladybug puzzle. Can they finish it out under 45? We're going to see. There it is, so 44-47.
Team number 2 with this puzzle, right?
Yep. There's a trifold and a shove. Excellent. Oh, and this is Jig Sauerkraut. They have started their second puzzle.
Yeah, it looks like they chose the landscape first.
Yeah, that lower left-hand corner, that is Michelle Kasper, Franzi, Carolyn, and Frugi from Germany doing a great job. And it looks like the Whimsy pieces are onto their second puzzle. We didn't quite catch them, but the Whimsy pieces, that's Mari Black, Hannah Sigler, Sammy Brownlow, and Karen Nill. Really interesting tactic here by Jig Sauerkraut to put the sorting trays in the middle, and it looks like they're all putting the border onto that center sorting tray, and then they'll have to move things around a little bit to start working on that.
Yeah, this is the way my team does it, is we divide into quarters, and then we put the edges into the middle, and then somebody just picks that up and goes and works on it.
Yeah, that's what we also do.
Is that right?
First the corners.
Is that what do you think about that sort of technique, Jim? As the professional coach in the room, would you advise? It sounds like maybe that's not your advised strategy. Obviously, depending on who you are.
Yeah, I mean, as with everything, it depends. I think when it's on a really busy puzzle and you're kind of planning on having to do a lot of tray rotation anyway, that's a solid tactic because you've already divided up the pieces. You can start working in the middle, and the trays are already there for you. If it's something real landscapey, that may not be the best way to go, because then you have to shove all those pieces aside anyway and resort them on top of that. So if you're planning on doing a lot of micro sorting, I think putting it in the middle is pretty okay, because then you're not committing to extra touches. If you have to do major sorting, then that may not be the quickest way to go, because you're going to have to you're going to have to like redivide things into 4 quarters. But it always depends on how your team is sitting. It takes about a half a second to pick up a piece, so every time you can cut down extra touches, that's the way you want to roll.
Well, normally actually people do put the corners aside. Somebody does actually then the corners, and then the major colors, like they maybe sometimes the like the red colors or the especially the yellow colors there that can be seen very easily, they put them aside. So in this puzzle I would do this. They did actually with the first one, but they put the pink one and the white one.
Table 49 there, finishing their first puzzle. Just real quick, the top 10 so far finishing are the Euro Jigsaw Jacks, Eat Our Puzzle Dust, Linsplurn, Lightning Puzzlers, Eat Our Puzzle Dust, Todos Akaye, the Fast Four, Czech Puzzle Queens, Big Jig Energy, the Question Marks, and cute O's and A's.
Lower right-hand corner, that is table 37. That's Joanne's friends with Jamina, Shell, Gisela, and breakout young star Danny from Colombia doing a fantastic job there. They did that trifold, got it in, and now they are on to their next puzzle in this team's final of the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championships 2025.
And I think that was Lynn Puzzlern there. I think that's a better shot at that. And it is just moving fast here. It's very exciting to be here in the Dome. It's relatively cooler, but still fairly muggy here in the Dome. And it's great to see these people just flying through these puzzles.
Yeah, I was about to say, what's not cool is how hot these teams are working right now. You can see that the EJJ squad in the lower left-hand corner, they've done all of those micro sortings, and this is what I was talking about. You don't have to be a hero and put all the pieces in. You're setting your team up for success, and Victor is doing a lot of sorting right now
handing
for the
off
team.
projects.
Yeah.
Really cool. And I like how organized those boards are. It looks like a little bit of shape sorting going on for Kati. The lower right-hand corner, that's table 16. We come in pieces with Lenka, Veronica, Tamia, and Maria from Slovakia. They are getting ready to do their changeover onto their second puzzle.
Yeah, I love that Victor just picked up a pile that he had made and just placed it directly into the hands of Kiara. So obviously they've done some practice on that. She just had her hands out and is now working as a hand as a mini tray, getting things put into place.
Yeah, it's always those little micro advantages that start adding together on a real busy puzzle like this, and you'll see that they're using the island tactic, where they're getting a project placed in one location, and they're going to build several of those, and then they'll go back and look for joins. They'll look for those big connections between islands, rather than trying to branch out all at once. With something that's really busy, that island or pick and place tactic is really, really powerful.
And it's really important to get as many options for a puzzle to fit into the board as fast as possible, because then your entire team can work against that list or that set of islands out there, and the more edges that you have, the more possible connections in the piece you have, the more probable you're going to find a place for any piece you pick up.
Yep. The team that just finished there from the Netherlands, Ikrunik Stalvalen, and I apologize for that, with Martine, Rowan, Jesse, and Marcia. Fantastic puzzlers, and they get a changeover just around the 50-minute line.
I haven't caught the team here on the right. Do we know who that is? Looks like they're cruising along. We got two different projects.
Table 66 in our upper left-hand corner, that is Swedish, or lower right-hand, Swedish Piece by Piece. They are getting ready to finish.
And then table 19 got to puzzle them all with Karen, Verena, Simone, and Magdalene getting through their first puzzle.
Great changeover.
I believe that's Simone Reich from myspeedpuzzling.com.
Yeah, it's good. This is going to be really exciting to see what the total time is, but also which teams are going to do the second puzzle a little bit faster than their first. In a lot of the competitions, when you do your second puzzle faster, it seems to have been sort of a winning strategy.
Is that right?
in a lot of cases, yeah.
And is that because people are saving the faster puzzle for the second time? For the second puzzle, or is it just because like you tend to get energized and close faster?
I'll say yes, because I'm not 100% sure. It just seems to be a thing that kind of happens from time to time. But we can see a lot of the teams that are at this top level are all getting ready to go over to the changeover. Getting a 1,000-piece puzzle done in under an hour is a crazy time.
Yeah,
so the folks here at the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championships are doing a fantastic job. I think that
piece of cake in the upper left-hand corner with Sarah, Tobias, Anna, and Selma from Sweden.
I'm his number one fan. I'm so excited.
Sorry, I just robbed you of the ability to say Tobias's name out loud and fan over him, but yeah, what makes you his number one fan?
His style is so methodical and precise. There's a lot of folks that their physicality is really, really quick finger work, and he is just so smooth. He'll pick up a piece, he'll check the image, and then he drops it where it goes.
What is Soraya doing? She just offloaded a whole bunch of pieces onto a tray.
Yep. And there we go.
And they put the tray on the floor. What was going on there? Were they just clearing some space, or was that all seemed peculiar?
Oh, and they decided to pick it up and drop it into the box, but fast enough to get over.
I was going to say, it was quick.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I keep saying, is that if it works for your team, it's the right way to do it. There isn't really a singular right or wrong way to do puzzling. There's just ways that are optimal for you.
Yep, we got the team piece of cake getting out to their second puzzle, and then the Euro Jigsaw Jacks. You see those islands are getting bigger, and they're like reaching out little tendrils to trying to find other islands or the edge, sort of like the way lightning happens. You get a little bit of electricity that finds the cloud, finds the ground, and suddenly you're off and running.
Yeah, and a big part of this isn't just how the sorting, it's how accurate that sorting is, right? Because if you have a lot of reds that are all the same, but they're super split, you're going to have to untangle those again. That's another round of adjustments that you have to make.
What were you saying?
Yeah, they changed the places.
The people?
Yeah.
On the Euro Jigsaw squad? EJJ squad?
Yeah, and that's really important to be able to do, to make sure that folks are operating at their best speed.
I'm leaving you guys, and
thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I love hearing more about different puzzle associations around the world, and having all kinds of great puzzlers with all kinds of great insights talking about what is going on out in the field. Hey, Charlie, you joining us for a little bit?
Rob, good morning. I'd have to come and say hello. How is it looking from here?
It is amazing. It's great to have your sultry tones on the live stream. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Rob.
What has your observations been so far?
It's fascinating. So I've decided to get these puzzles, and I've decided I wouldn't do the gradient one. I just can't do it. It just looks too dark. I can't distinguish the subtle differences in tone, which way the gradient's going. I just think it's one I personally. But up there, it's much faster for these pros, and that's why they're there, and I'm here. So I don't know. Do we think that the Czech puzzle queens are going to be able to catch up on the 5-minute difference? Is it?
I think there's a really good chance, honestly. I think they are already catching up pretty substantially. I know that they're not quite there in terms of the number of pieces placed, but we've seen that this puzzle goes quite a bit faster, and
yes,
we're seeing that while the EJJ squad is making a lot of great progress, it is relatively, again, to world-class puzzlers, it's relatively slower.
And we've had poor Katie there. You can see bottom left of the Czech puzzle queens. She's had a nosebleed.
Oh yes, and just persevering nonetheless.
And she was, she was on one hand as well, doing puzzling one-handed for a while because it was streaming too much. I'm poor.
Well, I mean, the fact that she has both of her hands operating now, that could be the difference to make up any lost time. And the crazy things like that happen, and the fact that they're so locked in that they are still puzzling. They didn't try to step away. They just kept plowing through. That is dedication to the craft.
Telling me.
One quick thing about the Czech puzzle queens that I thought I would note is that in the 4 prelim rounds, I like to look at what the middle time is to finish for the sort of middleist team, and then compare that to the team that finished first, just to get a sense of how much better did the team that finished first do against the sort of average middle one. And they had by far the biggest difference between the middleist team and the top team. The Czech puzzle queens finished their puzzles as twice as fast as the middleist puzzler in their round. So that helps to kind of equalize for different puzzle complexities. So they finished about twice as fast, and then the O's and A's had a relatively less big gap between the middle, with about 1.6, 1.7 times as fast as the middle one.
Well, if I remember correctly, they picked up and they overthrew, not the word, a massive deficit on after the first puzzle last year. I think they had a 3-minute deficit, which they turned into a 2-minute advantage. Was it last year or 2 years ago? But they were definitely 2 minutes down. I think they recuperated all of that.
Yeah,
with the second puzzle.
Yeah, in a lot of cases, if you do your second puzzle fast, you're in a good spot.
It must have been 2 years ago, because that, of course, it was. The Busy Birdies was last year. That would have been 2 years ago.
The Czech team, always a powerhouse. I never count them out. They can come from behind, and again, I think that they've got the relatively more straightforward puzzle if this plays into their skills. And so I think that we may see a fun down-to-the-wire finish.
Yeah. I know Teresa, she likes a gradient puzzle. She's told me before she loves the gradient. So.
And look at that adjustment that they made in the border. Instead of trying to keep working at it where it was, they just broke it apart, slid it away, so that way there's space to do other things. Really, really slick move.
It's so cool.
And this is what I was talking about earlier about the contrast between different tactics. This Ladybug puzzle is very much island-based, whereas the Aurora puzzle is a sunburst. Place one thing, radiate out.
Yeah, and I think it is so deceiving because I am currently being deceived as to how fast the EJJ squad is going, because it is hard to see a lot of pace when people are working the entire board at the same time, because things get filled in little teeny places, and it's not until you go away and you come back, like I was just looking at the puzzle queens and came back, that you see that all just kind of filling in really quickly.
Guys, I'm going to give way to Annika from the UK JPA, so she can come in and share her thoughts with you. I think we've got some other people queuing up, so I will leave with their dulcet tones and hopefully come and at least check in a bit later on.
Always
so
welcome.
Thanks for sharing your time with me, sharing yourselves with me, and we'll catch up later on.
Well, thank you, Charlie, and we look forward to more news from the field.
Okay.
We're going to make a little adjustment here. I think that the EJJ squad is pulling ahead here, but anything can happen. We know that the Czech Puzzle Queens, they are so good with gradients that they can catch up really, really fast when they have the right colors. We're making a little bit of shifting around here to grab everybody. There we go. We have almost set here. So I've been burned by this before, so part of the bit here is I'll say, please tell me your names.
Good morning. I'm Andreas Herik from Belgium.
And I'm Annika Thompson from the UK.
I'm Daniela Berensen, that you already know me.
Right up into that microphone. Unfortunately, they're very directional.
Daniela Berensen, I was yesterday here with Jim.
And tell us a little bit about yourselves. Are you in charge of various puzzling organizations of some kind?
Yeah, well, I've co-founded the Belgian Speed Puzzling Association about a year ago, after I came here last year for the first time. It's been going very well.
And I founded the UK Association after being a part of the Australian Association a few years before that. So I moved over to the UK and got the association up and running there.
Okay, so I'm working with the Dutch Association, so yeah.
That's got to be so exciting to have 3 international communities like hanging out at Worlds this year, like learning from each other. What have you learned the most that you're excited to take forward?
I mean, it's great to be connected with these different countries because you can learn so much about how events are organized, and there are still so many possibilities on level of on puzzling. Because I've seen outside they've been doing Puzzle Chicken, which is like this whole new thing now, and I'm sure there are so many more formats yet to be invented, and those are just exciting times.
Yeah, so we get to get together, and we have been able to share how we run competitions in our own countries and just pick up tips. And the tech side is a huge part of the competition as well as trying to find out what rules everybody's playing by and what we're doing differently from the rest of the world. So it's a really nice opportunity for us all to get together in person. It's a little bit different to just meeting online. It's a bit more personable. We get to know each other and just really help grow the puzzling community all around the world.
Yes, and then we are able to share as well the needs of our own groups, because you have different cultural backgrounds, so it's quite interesting to share what drives each community.
Have you found some things where in your organization does things differently than other organizations intentionally, like maybe cultural differences or just differences in interest in how you approach speed puzzling?
I think in general we try to keep it quite uniform.
Mm-hmm.
It helps to follow the same similar rules and regulations.
Lets everybody, especially in Europe where people can travel a lot more freely, and it's nice to know that if you go one competition to another competition that there's a lot of consistency in what's going on.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're going for. This week we've used this opportunity to meet in person with many different countries, and we actually have founded a new, we call it a committee. It's not really a legal organization, but we founded a committee, a European committee on jigsaw puzzling.
Oh wow!
And the main thing what we're doing is we're uniting European countries, and we will be coordinating the European Championship.
That is super exciting. So, like the European Championship for a whole bunch of countries, or just your 3? Like how big is?
No, we're trying to get all the European countries involved. In that regard, we have a scoop because we can announce that it has been decided that the 2026 European Championship will be held in Turkey next year.
Oh, exciting!
Yep, and the other thing we're going for is this uniformity in format and organizing. So we will always have the European Championship in late autumn, like October, November, because spring has been used for many tournaments already. So.
That's super exciting. There's a lot of people in the chat saying that they're excited for European Championships. The last one was amazing. So that's so exciting that you've formed a committee that's going to make a really strong format and organization and a championship that'll be really exciting for people to go to.
Yeah, and hopefully, well, it will be moving around each year, so different countries can put forward their country to host. And we have a board of 10, so everything will be voted on. Any questions, concerns from different countries that have associations or don't have associations yet, they can contact us, and information will be spread down through us and all the other associations. So it should be really positive for the community as far as communication goes moving forwards.
That is thrilling. That's really cool that you guys are looking out for not just one location. Like, it's not just Turkey, it's not just Germany, it's not just you guys are really trying to make an international group to really bring this together. That's so exciting. That's really, really cool.
Yes, and being part of this committee, we are gonna, let's say, take care and provide advisement for the organization of the European Championship, while we believe in keeping the, let's say, identity of each championship of each member. So, okay, the Netherlands will keep doing what is really relevant for the Dutch community, Belgium will keep doing it, etc., while we unite to be completely organized for the European Championship. Yeah.
Love that. So every competition is going to have its own local flavor. It's going to speak to the region that it's from, but there's going to be sort of uniting conceptual like rules. I love the idea of sharing technology. I've seen some amazing technology from various countries that are coming out, and I'd love to see them all sort of blend together and become something that we can use as a broader community across a bunch of different competitions. So it sounds like the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen the Dutch people. They have invented an app for time registration in puzzle tournaments, which is fantastic, and we're ready to use it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that'll be fun to learn more about. Is there ways people can contact you guys, or how should they get a hold of you to learn more about this?
Yeah, we are reaching out, but we're setting up a homepage and an email address. But we will be reaching out to all the European associations via the social media. Most of them are already aware that this is going on, but we'll have a WhatsApp group including everyone, and we'll communicate through there, so everyone will know.
That's really exciting. Well,
yes, and then Andreas and Annika are here because they are the leaders that have been, let's say, chosen from all of us. So yes, the idea is if people have questions, etc., yeah, through their own associations, they know how to reach us. Yeah, and we will provide the information because this is really fresh. Yeah. Really, really fresh. So you have really
well, thanks for breaking it here on this live stream.
It's so exciting. Well, we don't want to take away from your planning time, so we'll let you get going and get back to the action. But thank you so much, and congratulations on forming this committee. And the European Championships are going to be next year in Turkey, 2026 in the fall, right?
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Very excited.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Oh wow, that's going to be a huge change, and I'm always excited when new puzzle communities join forces to make really cool championships and organizations. Speed puzzling is just going to keep growing, and you know what else is growing? The way that these puzzles are being built right now. We can see in the lower left-hand corner, that is the EJJ squad. They are probably about 75% complete with their puzzle, and I think that table 4 in the upper right-hand corner are not too far behind them in total.
Yeah, to me it looks like we've got more of the Czech puzzle queens and the EJJ squad maybe trading off. At least that's how I keep darting back and forth, and I keep thinking to myself, gosh, the EJJ squad is really bringing those pieces together quickly. How are the Czech queens ever going to catch up? And then I look back over the Czech queens and I'm like, wow, the Czech queens are really going so fast. How's EJJ squad ever going to catch up? And that's what I've been doing for the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, they've really been trading places, Rob, and this is part of what makes it exciting, is that the different tactics make it where it's really difficult to tell. And you can see that Czech puzzle queens are getting ready to lock in those waterfalls, and that's where you can really tell what the positioning is. I think EJJ squad is a little ahead. They have more of a Swiss cheese build out on that upper left-hand corner of their puzzle, where you're going to be able to see, they're going to be able to use a lot more shape work for those pieces to lock them in place, whereas the Czech puzzle queens have some larger gaps that they might have to work through. In the upper left-hand corner, that is the Whimsy pieces doing a really good job. I'm surprised that they've caught up as much as they did after that busy first puzzle.
Well, yeah, if you believe that busy first puzzle is the harder puzzle, then I'm not surprised that they had to kind of work through that and get to a puzzle. Would you say that a landscape like this is more in their wheelhouse, or does it just happen to be going really fast this time around?
I think it just happens to be going really fast. I think that I know the Whimsy pieces pretty well, and while a good gradient works for some of the people on that team, it's not necessarily their specialty right away. So it's really cool to see how well this is working out for them, and it might be that lower ground is a little smoother, but up there in the upper right-hand corner, table 4, the O's and A's, they are plowing through that sky, and look at how much of that lower ground they've already built out.
Yeah, and the Dutch are known for their busy puzzles, but they are not slacking off here in this gradient landscape puzzle at all.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the shift. The Dutch team has two individuals that are Jan van Hasteren champions. Jan van Hasteren puzzles known for being extremely busy.
If you don't know them, go look them up right now.
Yeah, it's like one piece will have 3 different things on it, and you have to figure out where it's wild. So these giant landscapes are might be a little bit of a departure of what they're comfortable with. We're going to see, but EJJ Squad is starting to consolidate a lot of the pieces down to that lower left-hand side, and I think they're going to be able to really have access to plow through the rest of this. There's a couple of islands. It looks like a few things floating. I wonder if they're going to take them out, but they're doing a really good job.
Looked like Kiara was doing maybe a shape sort there. As Victor was getting in and getting pieces, she was taking pieces off another board and splitting them a couple of boards, and they do look shape sorted. So that's a great, in my opinion, direction to go here. When what you have are a lot of holes, you want to just fill it with the thing that is that shape. And if you can move from looking at a shape in a hole to the board where you know that is, and find the piece that, like, you're only looking at maybe a dozen, maybe 2 dozen pieces total that are that shape that go into that space. So if you've got a bunch of well-defined holes, shape sorting can be a great way of accelerating your progress.
Yeah, and it's really smart when you know that the close is going to be a little Swiss cheese-like when it has all those gaps. You're setting your teammates up for success by doing that. With a big landscape, it doesn't necessarily it may not necessarily help out a lot early on, but with something super busy like that ladybug puzzle, that's a really, really strong move, and they are moving quick. You can see that now that Victor has joined the assembly, they're starting to pick up a lot of motion and a lot of movement, because at this point it's just get the pieces in. There's not a whole lot of micro advantages you can keep building at this stage. They've already done a lot of that. The Whimsy piece is starting to fill out that green part of the Aurora in the upper left-hand corner, and it looks like they're trying to get those waterfalls locked in place. The Czech Puzzle Queens, we can't quite see the full puzzle, but I think they have a lot of that groundwork done, and I think they've almost finished the sky at this point. Yes, the sky is finished.
Yeah, it's all that hard dark parts that are left there, so it'll be interesting to see how fast they can get through that. They're again bringing the puzzle board right onto the puzzle itself. Looks like they're getting some things out of the way. Maybe they've got a sort there. I can't quite tell. A shape sort. Looks like there are some things, or not.
I will say I am going to give a big shout out to Ravensburger, because these puzzles are beautiful. Like genuinely, as someone who doesn't do the puzzling, I like the analysis and all that. These are puzzles that I would say that's pretty. Maybe we should pull it out, which is really exciting.
Yeah, we're coming right down to it. And I think the EJJ squad is ahead. They've got, it looks like 2, maybe 3 boards worth of things. But this is, it's the hard part. And if they've, as we've talked about, if they've done a good job of setting themselves up, it can be it can be faster than it might normally be.
Yeah, but look at the O's and A's. They almost have that lower bottom down to where it's just lines of pieces that they're going to be able to lock in really quickly. Look at the sky part. That's gradient work that they're going to be able to fly through. They might be able to catch up here a little bit if they can get the physicality going.
Well, you can see they've got a lot going on in that lower left-hand corner, so it looks like they've still got a fair amount to fill out there.
Oh wow, this is really coming down to the wire, and we've had Charlie join us here at the table.
I'm back again. Maybe if you've got no other guests talk you through to the finish, then we'll start getting a rolling run of winners and second places.
That'd be really
tension.
cool. It's going to come much sooner than anybody was expecting, I think. We're getting ready to cross the hour and 13-minute line in this team's final competition at the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championships, and they are absolutely flying. Look at how the Czech puzzle queens in the lower right-hand corner, they have both of those puzzle trays on the puzzle itself, trying to work out down to the bottom, but that is a lot of green and black that's super split. The EJJ squad has that lower left-hand corner to build out, and then a little bit of Swiss cheese to build through the rest of it, but I think they're really going to be able to accelerate through the end here.
Yeah, the puzzle whimsies look like they're actually doing a really great job. They've kept that acceleration that they picked up, and they kept it moving because that puzzle is coming together nice and quick. They've got a nice line across the top that's not too wide, is in fact maybe 2 pieces wide. That would be not as difficult to fill as if it was a big giant void, so maybe that would come together pretty quickly. It's interesting to see these waterfall-shaped stripes on everybody's puzzle board, where you can see where the waterfall is and then everything else is dark.
Yeah.
And they've done, obviously, on the trays, then they've got different kinds of pieces. They've done a piece sort, they've different kinds of pieces on each of the trays, and then each one will work on a particular piece shape, the one they're best at, and it's a race.
Oh, absolutely. And you can see that the Whimsies actually put both sets of sky pieces onto those boards, and they're going to be able to trade left and right which one each person is going to be using at a certain point to try to make sure everybody has access. The O's and A's trying to close out that sky as best they can, but the EJJ squad is pulling ahead here, trying to close out the rest of that really busy puzzle.
Yeah, I keep getting startled by how many pieces they have left because it seems like there are so few gaps left on the board. There's some parts that we can't see there, maybe over on the right-hand side, but it looks like just a pick it, place it sort of thing.
Yeah,
that's what I heard the Aussies saying as well. Pick and place now. While they were coming to the end of their puzzle, and a similar sort of stage, I heard them say, "Pick and place, guys."
Yeah, I know that David Donaldson likes to say on the Canadian team that, pick it up, put it down. I found that when I do that on my team, if I pick it up, if I become responsible for a piece as soon as I touch it and am responsible for placing it, I'm holding a piece for a very long time. So it doesn't work for everybody, but when you are a elite level team, picking up a piece and owning it and putting it into place is a thing that helps make sure that everything is nice and clear, that everybody's not doing touching things multiple times, and that you're getting that piece into where it needs to go.
And that's a skill that's really important, is being able to look into the pile and know what piece you want out of that pile, so that way you're not grabbing something and then being really uncertain about it. And that's where that trade-off of, do I pick up the piece and I know where it's going, or do I know what I need and I'm trying to find it? And those are 2 different lenses that you can switch through. And the EJJ squad is coming in on probably the last 30 pieces or so.
EJJ, they're there.
We're coming down. We have an hour, 15 minutes, and 50 seconds. Are they going to be able to keep this under 16? I'm not sure. But they are accelerating. You'd see that they're all using just one hand here. They're not trying to get super tangled. They're down to the last 5. Are they going to keep it under 16:01? Can they get it in? There it is. Where's the last one? Are they going to put the hands up? There it is.
Well done.
Team champions 2025. There you have them.
And you can tell that they're just so happy, relieved. Yeah. A lot of emotions probably going on right now.
A lot of emotion.
They've worked really hard. They've thought really hard. I know that they put just a ton of energy into trying to be the best team that they can be, and it's really great to see them work out. It's a hand-picked team from across a bunch of different countries, a super team, if you will, and I know that folks have varying opinions on that. I personally love to see the best of the best, so I'm thrilled for them.
And great for Victor as well, who just came so close as well yesterday. So he's got a gold medal there, and a top prize. He's a world champion.
Oh yeah, well they
well
all are. They all are. Kiara, Katarina, Hannah, and Victor are all teams world champions here at the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championships 2025. A fantastic time. I think it was just over an hour and 16 minutes. Very well done. And we have more teams that are coming into the close. You can see the Czech Puzzle Queens are starting to accelerate. They heard that applause. They know that they can still hit a podium line, and so are the O's and A's. Those hands are moving so quickly at this point. This is really, really exciting, because it's not just about what place you're at. It's about putting your best time up with the team on the puzzle that's on the day.
Yep, they're getting those last few pieces in. The hands are everywhere, but they're actually doing a pretty good job of not getting each other away, and there they go.
Well done. Well done, the Czech Puzzle Queens.
Congratulations.
Was that nosebleed of Katie's the difference? Well done. Absolutely superb job as well.
Not at all surprised to continue to see them in the top.
Oh, wow. And look at the Aussie
Then
All-Stars.
we've got the Aussies, we've got the battle as well, because we've got Big Jig Energy right next to us, and then the Aussie All-Stars there. And they were running close. The Big Jig Energy were the first to finish. They finished before the first puzzle, but obviously the easier one, and they're finishing on the more difficult one. Which of the Aussie teams is going to come up?
I don't know, but this is, I do not envy the judges or the camera crew right now, because this is going to start being that down-to-the-wire running around that they have to do before. I think the O's and A's and the Aussie All-Stars are vying for that third-place position. Whimsy Pieces trying to get the rest of that sky and that ground going. There's a lot of those black pieces that are really tricky to play around with, but they are making good progress here. The O's and A's trying to reach over top of the puzzle. It's a little bit of a reach, and you have to wonder if the fatigue is setting in. They've been puzzling for an hour and 18 minutes, 45 seconds. That is a long time to stay focused and moving on anything at all at once.
It is, but also the adrenaline and excitement and just fierce competitiveness that brings you to the very end of this puzzle. You see them, like, most of these teams pick up right at the very end, and it's not just because there are easier places to find pieces, but it's because, like, as you get to the end, your energy picks up. You can often hit the sort of doldrums midway through a puzzle where you're just sort of going through the motion, but when the end is right there, you pick it up, you sprint for it.
Oh, man. Well, it's also hard to stay out of your head, because you start hearing those applauses and you want to pick it up, but there's also this moment of, oh no, oh man, did we mess up? Did we make a mistake? Did we make it, and being able to push all of those other thoughts out of your mind and focus on your team, your puzzle, your time, that's so difficult to do, and they are doing an excellent job. You can see in the lower right-hand corner, that's table 13. That's the Lynn Puzzler from Denmark. There may be about 75, 100 pieces remaining, but the O's and A's are coming in on the last 20 or so.
Team there.
Yeah,
30 seconds away.
And the All-Stars look to be on their tails.
Well, I think the Dutch will definitely just edge it, won't they?
No, for sure. I think the Dutch have this. I think that it looks like, from what we can see, and we can see what you can see for the most part, it looks like the Aussie All-Stars are primed to come in right after the Dutch.
Are the Dutch going to be able to keep this under an hour and 21? I think they have about 7, maybe 10 pieces remaining. They're all in the same spot, and so they're kind of on top of each other just a little bit. But this is really, really thrilling. Anytime you can get a podium finish in a world championship is a huge accomplishment, and they are going to lock in the third place slot here. Congratulations to the Netherlands.
Well done.
The O's and A's, Ellen, Inga, Sing, and Tim.
O's and A's.
Very well done. Absolutely phenomenal puzzling. I love seeing how excited
family effort as well. Jan's been helping us out, and the volunteers, and there we go.
Yeah,
those girls have got gold medal.
The elders,
bronze medal. I'm sorry. I'm going to leave you. I should go and look for some proper people for you to talk to.
Well,
or improper.
Some winners and second place, and get them up and share their thoughts with you, and maybe just come in and say goodbye at some point a bit later on. So
awesome. Look forward to it.
I should go and see if I can get some EJJs to come and talk to you.
Thank you. Well, and as he's doing that, we are still finding our podium. A lot of teams, their goal was to make it into the final. Some of the teams' goals were to be in the top 50. The Aussie All-Stars finished strong.
Yes!
Congratulations to the Aussies. That's Hannah, Melissa, Katrina, and Rihanna from Australia. Fantastic finish. Just under an hour, 21 minutes, and 30 seconds. Really, really well done.
Yeah, they really pulled it through to the end. Now we've got Dome Sweet Dome down on the left. We got a couple American teams then, the Whimsy Pieces in the upper left, and then we've got Liz Puzzlern in the right-hand side. Looks like the Whimsy Pieces are maybe getting down to the last bits of it, and it's hard to tell actually who might be running next behind, because Lynn Puzzlern, they've got a bunch of gaps to fill, which is, we've talked about, can be fast. As opposed to a bunch of sort of broader areas of a single color.
Yeah, it really comes down to how much ambiguity there is. What's the probability of picking up a piece and knowing exactly where it goes? This is really going to come down to how the physical speed matches with your ability to be able to catch the piece shape. I think the Whimsy Pieces are doing a really, really good job here. They're accelerating into the close. Most of the things are on the lower left-hand side. There's not a lot of split remaining. Are they going to make a big shift to try to move around to set set each other up for success. The lower right-hand corner there, the Lynn Puzzlern, they seem to be trying to figure out where to go here. That that left-hand corner has a bigger gap than what it looks like, Rob, but they have little spots, Swiss cheese moving all around. They are starting to chew through it. There's only some in that lower left-hand corner, but I don't think everybody can get into there to help out a lot. You can see Karen reaching across, trying to get one in.
You know, I've really been enjoying on the whimsy pieces in the upper left-hand corner, because Karen is like, she's moving things down the tray that she has. She's moving things to the other tray. She's really playing a supporting role in a way that I'm not familiar with, that seems to be super effective, because as we talk about, there's only a certain amount of hands that can be in that space, and so having a process that gives you a back-to-back capability of moving those along is great.
That support goes a long way. The whimsy pieces are coming in on the last 5 pieces. Lynn Puzzlern right next to him. They have about 6 pieces. How is it going to come out? The whimsy pieces are locking in that last piece. Are they going to be able to get it? There it is. Congratulations to whimsy pieces. A podium finish for the U.S. team. Congratulations to Sammy Brownlow, Mari Black, Karen Nill, and Hannah Sigler, and a big hug for all of them. And Lynn Puzzlern right behind them, just there. Congratulations to Lynn Puzzlern. The team from Denmark.
Astrid, Iris, Sophie, and Olivia. Well done.
And the race continues for the rest of the podium. You know, it's so exciting to see here. It's not just a matter of what your position is, but where it is. And
Eat Our Puzzle Dust.
Eat Our Puzzle Dust, the Germany team, locks in a spot. This is so thrilling and exciting. Congratulations to everybody so far. And we're going to shift around a little bit as we bring in a team to have a quick chat.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Just in case people have just started tuning in for whatever reason, tell us who you are.
We are the AJJ squad.
And you are?
I'm Chiara.
I'm Victor.
I'm Hannah.
Katy.
I like that you guys are making maximum use of the space here.
Yeah.
We can get you another chair, but I suspect that this is probably
working.
preferred.
It's fine.
Hannah is comfortable.
Yeah.
Hannah is a bit far away from the mic.
You can't see it, but they're sort of piled on top of each other, which I think sort of speaks to the camaraderie that you guys have as a team, right? Like you seem to really gel as a team, as a cohesive group of people. So first of all, congratulations. That was amazing and very well done. What did you think about these puzzles?
I like them a lot.
Same,
yeah.
Great for our team.
Yeah, the illustration was harder for our team, I guess.
Yes.
But also it was faster, so I don't know if it was.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he just
think
came
he
to show us the
But
time.
I think he mixed it up because I saw it on the paper that it was 35 with the first puzzle.
Well,
I'm not sure.
Okay.
We'll look it up
So
for
we
you.
don't know.
Yeah. And also for the first one, I love Iceland. So I know this place, and I also done a 1,000 piece Ravensburger, but during the day. And also I did the Treffle 600 pieces random shapes, so I was familiar with the image, so I could coordinate better.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was in your wheelhouse.
Sorting.
Yeah.
What was that, Hannah?
Their sorting was great. Like they did amazing.
Yeah. So who are the primary sorters on this team?
Victor and me.
Yeah. And so, we saw you guys just working through the sorting pretty much the entire time until the end. So the sorting was really helpful in a lot of these.
Yeah.
And I think I'm the primary shape sorter. Victor is the primary normal sorter, and I just follow his instructions.
So did you end up shape sorting on both of these puzzles?
Yes.
At what point did you decide to make that shape sort decision? Because that is a challenging thing for people to figure out.
The first one I decided, I think. I was working on green and it was like, it's time. For the second one, Hannah was struggling. And so as soon as Hannah was struggling, it was time to shape sort.
Yeah, the bottom part was very busy. Yeah.
As soon as someone doesn't see anything anymore, it's time to shape sort.
Yeah.
The bottom of the Iceland one just looked like it was going to be a dark, sort of complicated thing, but it wasn't. And something I thought I saw you doing, Chiara, was taking some of the dark pieces and putting them on a dark background. Were you just shape sorting and that was coincidental, or were you using the back?
We are talking
mix
about
of
it in the very
both.
beginning.
Yeah, Victor thought about it, like keep it on the like on the back cloth, and I was like, no, let's put it on the dark tray in case. But then, once we actually got to it, I had forgotten by then, so I think I got lucky. But maybe Victor would have shouted at me if I had made a mistake there.
I don't know. In the very beginning, I said to Chiara that we should keep the pieces, the darker ones, on the tablecloth as long as we can, because that way we can see the differences in the shades better. and that was the premise. But then Chiara decided to shape, so it was like, okay, let's do that.
But the black tray is also black, so that was fine.
Yeah, but I didn't even pay attention to the tray.
So how much active communication do you guys have going on? Because it sounds like you're still sort of, I mean, we dragged you right away over here, and so you're still actively processing. But I'm curious as to how much like coordination and like a dynamic conversation you have when you're going through the puzzle.
Chiara and Victor talk a lot while they're sorting.
Yes, I was about to say.
We are always told to not listen to them because they distract us.
Yes, and we tell them what to do. So like Victor and I are the bossy ones in the team.
And Hannah and I just work.
We just do whatever tasks they give us. Yeah.
All right, so you guys are the receivers of the project. So do you guys, as the sorters, make projects specific to people's capabilities, or just like, here's a project I can see, somebody pick this up? So you do it specifically?
No. We have a plan. And we
tell me
also
about
have
the plan.
Like while we see the pieces, we decide like what is the next thing, and like we also have the order in which people are going to do sections. Like we have like the next 3 things picked up already.
And Chiara and I know each other's skills very well anyways, so she knows what she can give me, what will work.
Yeah, and also we realize like sometimes we need to swap things. Like if Kati gets stuck, like it's important to notice that and like switch it to a different section that might work better.
Yeah, and
like
Chiara
like
sometimes notices earlier than I do, so
It's really cool.
And also we have some things prepared in case someone is stuck, so we always have like a backup tray for everyone.
Oh, so the moment somebody is like, I'm slowing down, you're like, great, here.
Yeah, give me something else.
Yeah.
Or
You're
even
doing such a great job with that.
or even as Kati says, is like, no, you're slowing down. Are you slowing down? I think you should move to that. And it's like, yeah, you're right.
We do that a lot on our team as well, which we are also a world-class team in so much as that we competed in the Worlds. But we have like it's important to have outside perspective on how you're doing. We find is that like often other people can see that you're slowing down before you can see that you're slowing down. Do you find that to be true?
Well, for me and Chiara, it is true.
Yeah. I better see for Kati if she's slowing down because she's standing next to me. But I don't see Hannah slowing down. Hannah always communicates very well because she's talking a lot to herself, so we can hear what's in her mind.
That's true.
It's interesting because some teams they think that it might. Some teams that are beginning out, they might think that it's a waste of time to kind of keep an eye on your teammate and really focus on yourself and be like, I'm working on this project. This is what I'm doing. How much time do you think you lend to like keeping an eye on your teammate and checking in with them to see how they're doing?
I think since you guys are sorting, it doesn't distract you too much, I would assume.
No. I'm not looking at others, but I'm asking Kati, how are you doing? How it's going?
Hannah and I keep cheering each other up.
Yeah.
And also,
not looking at each other.
Yeah, not looking.
And when we are sorting, we also look at the picture, and while we are doing that, since we are farther away from the picture and they are standing in front of the picture, we can always see them in the same time.
Yeah, I think that's mostly when I see it. It's like unconscious. It's like while looking at the other side, like Kati's tray is also in the way, and so like you just glance unconsciously.
But this has been a progress. We didn't start at these spots and these
it was a lot of training.
The roles were not the same when we started.
The setup was so different.
Is that right? So I'm curious. Like Victor, you put a lot of thought into how you puzzle individually. Do you bring that same level of focus into the team situation?
Yes. I'm happy I can use the thinking there and for to do the sorting and to strategize, because once I'm given the pieces by someone else, I cannot do them. So since I can be useful in that way, and also the strategizing and the tactics are very well done, this works best, I think.
So that's interesting. So you are not a project person. You can't hand you as easily a bunch of things to do as you could hand to
Kati.
Brain. It looks like you did, in fact, finish the Aurora puzzle faster than you finished the other puzzle.
The first one was 35.
Yeah, and the next one was about 40.
Yeah, we were flowing at that one, like it was flying.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But also looking at the times, it was the fastest for everyone. It's not just us. Like we were correct in thinking that was faster.
Yeah, it did look like most teams were, as we have a team, the Australian team near us finishing it did look like most people locked into that one, were able to sort of knock that one out, and the other one just had a lot more going into it. It looked like you guys had a lot of with the second one, a lot of islands built out, and just sort of kept building out from there and building out from there. I was saying it was hard to watch the progress because, you know, as you're watching somebody put together a puzzle in that way, like, it doesn't look like much is put together, and then suddenly all kinds of it is put together. Do you guys find that at the end of a puzzle like that, where there's just a bunch of gaps to fill, like they go really quickly?
Depends on the picture.
Yeah.
For the first one, it was very fast, but for the second one, it was much more difficult because the colors didn't really help that much. The shape set was useful, but without the shape set, it would be very difficult.
Now, we've called you guys sort of a super team because you came together from a bunch of different backgrounds through, I assume, the Euro Jigsaw Jam Association. And so we were expecting good things, and you obviously paid them off. Did you have any idea how teams behind you were doing and how far ahead you might have been?
No, not at all.
And so were you at all surprised at where the Czech Puzzle Queens were once you guys finished? They were about a minute and a half behind you.
Yeah, I looked at their tape at the live stream on the Telebeam, and I was like, oh, they're very close. That was so close.
Yeah, for a while it was really, it looked neck and neck, and we were sort of going back and forth and going back and forth, and then in the final probably 5 to 10 minutes, it became really clear that you guys just had a bunch of gaps to fill, and they had much, bigger stripes to fill. It was very exciting to watch. Thank you for putting on such a good show.
We weren't aware of that.
I guess what's kind of curious, how does it feel to be around so many other great puzzlers and put up such a fantastic performance? Like, it's so easy to be like, I'm around all of these other people and get nervous or maybe not do the best you can. Like, tell me a little bit about what's going through y'all's minds right now.
I think I was a bit more nervous than the other days. Yeah. And I also kept telling the others that we were doing a great job and that we can do this. Yeah. And I'm mostly saying it to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was the most relaxed today. Yeah. And maybe this
you
is.
were also very confident.
Yeah. And when we were doing the first puzzle, this was the first time in ever that when we are doing team puzzling that I was like, okay, maybe I can do that, and I actually did that, and I was like, oh wow, that's new.
Yeah, you looked so surprised, and I was like you're saying, oh, I'm able to do things, and I was thinking Victor, why
do you know who you are?
Saying that?
Is that a surprise?
Yeah, it felt like, someone that normally doesn't finish the 500 in 2 hours and is like, oh, but I'm able to put pieces together. He said that a few times, and I was like, okay.
Well, as a sorter, I often am like, you get well into the puzzle before you started putting any pieces together. And so I'm often like, hey, look, I put a piece together. It's very exciting. I imagine, Victor, though, you found that you were able to do put some pieces together, and that added to your confidence?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah. I think
just sorting. You were also excited about being able to sort. I don't know if you remember that.
Have you puzzled before, Victor?
Yeah, I had my time in the first puzzle, I had so great time. I was like, oh, I can see so many things to sort, I can do this. And I think we had 5 piles of different colors for the sky that were in the order, and this is for Kati, this is for Hannah, and this is for later Hannah, and this is for later Kati.
So tell me a little bit about the difference between puzzling as an individual versus pairs versus teams. The dynamic seems like it's pretty different.
It's completely different.
Yeah, I'm very happy with teams that I can just use the abilities that I have the best way I can. Yeah. Because in the individuals, I can have an idea in my mind, but it's difficult to execute.
Yeah.
And since we have the executor Kati here, it's very easy to work that way. The executor may be a wrong word.
And also, I feel like you can kind of rely on each other. Yeah. Once you feel stuck or slow, the others are still there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it seemed like you guys were working hard but also having a good time.
Yes,
definitely.
I do want to point out, even though we came together from different countries and it might seem like we put on that super team on purpose, we formed in the first place because we are friends.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really great. Well, you guys came together. You did an amazing job. Well done. Congratulations. Before we let you go, anything you want to say to anybody?
Spread love.
Yeah, the puzzle community is amazing.
Well, that's a great way to go out.
And cheer on to everyone.
Awesome. All right. Thank you guys so much. The Euro Jigsaw.
Thank you.
Congratulations! A fantastic job by a fantastic group of people. Not just a fantastic team, but like individually wonderful humans, and a lot of my puzzle heroes. And we've had a whole bunch of finishes while chatting, and that just shows you the level of all of the puzzlers that are here in the Dome this year. It's not just a thing of one puzzle, one set of puzzlers came in way ahead of everybody else. It's the case that they are all really, really close. They're all really, really close to each other. Overall, we've had a lot of finishes. I think our top 10 is locked up here. It's the Euro Jigsaw Jack Squad, Czech Puzzle Queens, O's and A's, Aussie All-Stars, the Whimsy Pieces, Lynn Puzzle Learn, Eat Our Puzzle Dust, the Fast Four, Todos a la Calle, and the Puzzle Marauders in the top 10. And it just keeps going from there. We've had a lot of really fantastic finishes, and you can see there's several teams that are still trying to keep this under an hour and 40 minutes, and they're doing an excellent job here. You can see this team is coming into the close. A lot of times, these teams just want to be in the finals and complete 2 puzzles and 2,000-piece puzzles in a short time. But we're shifting around here as we have another group coming in to say a quick hi.
As we do that, I just wanted to point out that the difference between Lynn Puzzle Learn and the Whimsy Pieces was just 1 second.
So close.
We were watching that play out, but I don't know that we actually internalized how close that was. And so some amazing puzzling out there. Speaking of amazing puzzlers, tell us who you are, tell us what your team name is, and introduce yourselves.
We are the O's and A's. This is Teun, Sien.
Yeah, get right up onto those mics.
Yeah, we are the O's and A's, and I'm Sien. This is
Teun,
Inge, and Ellen.
Well done. How did that set of puzzles feel? Did you like those puzzles?
Yes, well, at first we liked them. We saw a landscape and we were like, oh no.
Yeah, I was like a landscape for Dutch puzzlers. That seems strange. I wonder how they'll do, but you guys did not seem to struggle with it.
No, when we were puzzling, it was quite easy for her. For Ella.
On the landscape?
She was our superstar in that puzzle. Yeah. And the busy puzzle was also, it was a good one for us, but it was harder as we thought. So yeah.
What made that one particularly tricky for you guys? Because I know that you all are fantastic busy puzzle operators. So what might have stuck out as being sticky?
I'm not sure. I think we just didn't communicate as well as we usually do, or something like that. I don't know. Somehow the pieces just weren't where they were supposed to be, and we'll have to figure it out later. But something didn't go right there.
Yeah.
Also, it wasn't just that the puzzle was challenging. There was a bit of an executional problem in there as well, like coordination.
Yeah, I really think so. It just felt like we could have done that better. The other one, we could not have done better. I don't believe that.
We did some we did some sorting, but the placement of our sorting was wrong on the sides. So we had to move a lot of our pieces.
It's so cool that even a top team can see little mistakes and want to do better on the next time. It's not like even the top players can make small errors, but the fact that you did so well just speaks to how strong puzzlers you are, and like as a team as a whole. What does it feel like right now to put up such an amazing time on both of these puzzles?
It's insane.
Amazing. Feels so good.
I think we third place. I think that's the best we could now.
But
ranked.
next year.
Yeah.
Next year.
Next year, yeah.
Yeah, because this is your guys' first time at Worlds, correct? Yeah, it's the first time. Do you guys do a lot of teams? I know you guys are primarily pairs-based. Do you guys do a lot of team-based puzzling?
We do Jan van Haastrecht teams with our parents.
So a different class maybe than being in the Worlds.
No, we are first place in the Netherlands.
Oh yeah, with your parents.
With our parents.
And actually the Dutch Championship is larger than the World Championship. So.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, wow, impressive. So I lost track of my question. It's been too long.
Well, no, I mean, one of the things that's really interesting is that there's so many judges running around, there's so many cameras and everything like that. Today was probably the first day that it wasn't 1 billion degrees inside of the dome. Do you think that some of those external factors helped you guys out a little bit, that it was a little cooler today, or did anything get to you?
No. For me, I just zone off. When I'm puzzling, I puzzle. I just hear you guys. I don't hear anything else.
Everything else fades into the background.
Yeah. For me, it does.
I mean, I didn't have to shout this time because obviously we had the loud rain during our prelim, so it was very quiet.
Yeah, it was somewhat more stable conditions this time around. Was it I feel like most puzzlers didn't particularly pay a lot of attention to the round C chaos, but was it nicer having the difference, a thunderstorm, hailstorm, windstorm, lightning, and thunder, or was it so far in the background that you didn't really even notice?
Oh my god, it was impossible not to notice the thunderstorm.
We had to scream at each other to hear each other, so it was very nice that we could use our normal voice this time.
Yeah.
So Ella and Inga, you guys have been to Worlds before. So how are you thinking about it this time around? If I recall, you're usually a family-based team, so you were willing to kick some family off to the side to add in some other folks. So how is the team and your experience this year?
I mean, I'm just glad that we didn't just ditch our family for other people, but we also managed to show them why we did that. So I think they can be proud and they don't feel bad that we upgraded.
And is it your father I've seen kind of helping out and doing some volunteering?
Yes, and Ellen's husband.
Yeah, so the folks are here. They're still getting a chance to participate, but now they're in a broader, more support role than on your specific team.
But actually, I think we had to practice a bit to become a team with Sien and Teun. Like, we had never puzzled together, and our first practice was a disaster. But I think we've managed to get enough practice time in to actually become a team, and we really enjoy hanging out together.
Tell us more about the disaster.
So, the first time, Teun was still backpacking. So it was the three of us, and then Teun and Sien's mom. Yeah. And that went great. And we thought, okay, so next time we're going to be with the complete team, and Teun is better than their mom. So this is going to be great. But then we had no one sorting, and the pieces were everywhere, and nobody could reach all of the pieces, and there was no communication, and just, it was so bad.
Just puzzle.
Well, it provides a great opportunity to learn a lot all at once.
Yeah.
Yes.
We learned a lot that time. The second time we did a lot better.
Yeah. Oh, man. So, I mean, tell us a little bit about what it sounds like at the table when you're puzzling. Are you guys very militaristic and like, this goes here, this goes here? Are you joking or making, like, what does it sound like to you guys?
We, Sien and I, we are very quiet. We do not talk at all. Sometimes we say like, oh, here is the green one for you. Yeah.
No, I think Sien just gives us the pieces without telling us what she's giving us. There's just no words.
It's just like, here's some pieces. Good luck.
Short words like here, blue, tree.
So Sien and Teun always tell us, I don't know how you can talk so much during puzzling.
But actually, I think today we didn't talk that much. During the prelim, I talked a lot and I had to shout. So today it was just quiet in all the different ways.
So in the times that you had to get practice together, did you guys have assigned roles as who's doing what in the puzzling?
Teun usually starts with the edge, and then it depends on the puzzle and the sections. In theory, we try to put in the pieces that go in our corner of the puzzle, but that never happens.
We are always over and under everywhere.
Yeah, we watched back the live stream from our prelim, and you could really see on the split screen all the other teams were like really systematically on the Christmas market going top down, and we were just like an octopus, all the arms going and it looked really different, but it works for us.
It's one of those things that is fun for us to watch. It may not be fun for you guys to experience, unfortunately.
Actually, we don't notice that much while puzzling. Like, we don't feel like we're in each other's way.
Well, that's
but
amazing.
When I look at it, I think, how can we not feel that we're in each other's way?
Cool. Well, thank you so much for coming by. Before we let you go, anything you want to say to the world at large? Any shout outs you want to say? Hi to your parents?
Thank you, Mom and Dad. Thanks.
Hoi Noor, hoi Lena.
All right. Well, thank you so much for dropping by. Amazing job. It was a pleasure to watch you guys.
Thank you.
Congrats. Go enjoy, celebrate, do all the things. So exciting. It feels so weird to be that close to your puzzle like idols and heroes, and I'm trying not to fangirl too hard. Rob, I don't know how you do it.
I just relish in it because I feel the same thing, and they just went off and did a giant hug, which is amazing. I've been a fan of Ellen's for a while, and Inge obviously, and then the two Brat sisters were new to me as of a couple of weeks ago. Thank you, EB Karen, for alerting me to that. I think Daphne, who is one of the floor judges, maybe brought that up for EB, but it was great to meet them. I've chatted with them briefly a couple of times, and it's just, the great thing is, the thing that I've discovered is that puzzle people are happy to chat with you, and so I'm like, well, if I can chat with some of the people that I think are just amazing, I'm just going to go up and start talking to them, and they will mostly talk back.
Yeah, I've not run into any of the puzzlers that are very prickly and fight back, and this goes for everybody. Congratulations on a great finish.
Bay Area Rapid Puzzlers.
If there's puzzlers that you've seen that you think are really cool, reach out to them, say hi. A lot of people just want to hang out, learn from each other, chat real quick. And we can see here at table 32, Nothing's Impuzzleable from Austria, and they are certainly on their way to finishing out this in under 2 hours. I think they're going to be able to pull it off. This is Lisa, Natasha, Tyler, and Jasmina from Austria, closing in on their second puzzle, I believe, and doing a really, really solid job.
Do you have any idea how it is they keep track of which puzzle a team is on? I imagine a judge probably comes by and marks a piece of paper as the transition happens, but the cameramen get those as well?
I'm not sure if the camera crew has access to that, but the judges do have little marks on their paper that says puzzle 1, puzzle 2, so that way they can keep track of it as they go through. Makes life a little bit easier here. I love watching this close. They all have their hands in and out, little on top of each other, but they are going away. Can they get these last 5 pieces in under the 50-20 mark? Maybe not quite, but they are flying right now. Come on, guys, get them in. Get that last little bit of rotation.
There we go.
There it is.
Congratulations. Can't see the name on that team, and it looks like they're wearing a world shirts. Team from France.
And it's, I tell people sometimes that when the camera gets on you, your ability to puzzle goes down by about 10 to 15% because there's suddenly that pressure. And congratulations to Team 73, the Bretzel pieces from France, Laura, Camille, Laura, and Alice.
That was France back-to-back right there.
Oh.
And they've got their mascots there on the table.
Yeah, there's a lot of people and teams that have mascots as part of the puzzling community and world building that they make, which is really fascinating. I'm kind of surprised how much the mascots have taken off over the last couple of years.
Yeah, same. I think I learned in the initial individual round that mascots for a lot of people and individuals provide that sort of sense of puzzling along with somebody, right? So you got some company along with you, some support. And it didn't really occur to me, but I thought they were mostly just kind of fun trinkets that people like to have. But I can imagine that there's a potential additional support capability that they could bring.
Oh yeah, and here's a Swedish team coming into the close. It's interesting that they have 2 clear sorting trays and one non-clear one. I always like to see new strategies developed and tested out in the wild. There's a lot of things that happen in the labs at home, but doing it in a competition setting is always fascinating to see. And you could, at this point, they have a lot of standard pieces. Standards are what we call the 2 prongs that are opposite sides, because they're the most common pieces in a Ravensburger cut. Compared to some of the other ones, and they're getting into the end here. And there's the team that finishes strong.
Yeah, I like their use of semi-transparent, because we've seen the use of transparent ones, and those sort of freak me out. I'm easily freaked out, though, so don't take that for too much. But I like the idea of a semi-transparent because it makes it more obvious that you are looking at not the puzzle itself, but something different, but still gives you visibility to what's underneath in case like you have an open space underneath that you still want to keep track of, or something like that.
Yeah. I have mixed feelings about the translucent ones. And that's not to say it's right or wrong, but my thought about the sorting trays is that it's primarily there we go.
That's the other half of Ella and Inga's typical team. I think that's Jan on the left and Eric on the right. Father and husband of the half of the O's and A's there.
Yeah, but with the transparent tray, part of the goal is that you get a color differential. It's table 52. That's the puzzle turtles: Maria, Ramona, Raphael, and Fabiana from Germany. If you have a tray that's white or black, whenever you put a piece on it, the color contrast lets you see what's on the piece pretty clearly. If it's translucent, you end up with this chameleon situation underneath of the tray, where if you put it on the board, everything kind of mixes together a little bit. So that makes me personally a little nervous, and I'm not sure how much it helps. But that doesn't mean that it's wrong. I want to make that very clear.
No, it's true. I mean, if you've practiced with it, if you know its pluses and minuses, if you know how to use it strategically and where it's going to be a problem, then great. It's a tool that you can use. And if you've mastered that tool, especially if it's a complicated tool that gives you an extra advantage, then you've got something that other people aren't going to be able to leverage as easily. So I definitely, as you said, I love the idea of trying things. I like to try things at home rather than trying them out in the field, but, do you. One of the things that is worth noting is that if you try some new technique, you probably need to try it several times before you can really tell if it works, because often the first time you try a new technique, you're like, this is not how I work, or you will have a bunch of other problems and sort of attribute the problem with that new technique or new tool to that new technique and new tool. You really need to get out and try it on a few different puzzles a few different times just to see if that works for you before you can really commit to it working or commit to it not working.
Yeah, and that's where practice goes a long way.
Yeah.
And practicing very specifically how you want to operate is huge. We'd see table 46 in the lower left-hand corner. Don't look at the box. Andrea, Jackie, Charlotte, and Steve from New Zealand getting ready to close this out under the 2-hour line. I want to point out that in this team's final, there's a 3-hour time limit, but I have an inkling that we're going to be able to clear the room well before then.
So how much space do you think you and I are going to have to fill at the end of this?
The way these teams are going, maybe about half hour, 45 minutes. We'll see what it's looking like as we come in, but they're going to be able to get those last 4 pieces in. There it goes. Congratulations. Oh no, there's a missing one.
They're missing a piece.
Are they going to take that?
Oh, there it is on the puzzle.
There it is.
Don't look at the box, but do look at the puzzle.
Oh, with a jigsaw jig at the end. Congratulations.
Nice.
Somebody in the chat was asking if there are names for the other puzzle pieces. There's lots of names going around. I'm a fan of naming it by the number of prongs that are on there. So a 1 prong is a 1. If it has 3 prongs, it's a 3. If it's 2 prongs on the adjacent side, 2. Congratulations.
Death by shape sort.
Yeah. If it's a 4 prong, it's 4, and if it's no prongs, we call it a 0. And then a standard is when it's on the opposite side. So that way it's pretty clear which ones are 2 and which ones are standards, and it makes life a little easier. Congratulations to table 51, Pisos de Queiroz, Mariana, Joao, Francisca, and Sarah from Portugal.
Yeah, we had the chance to talk to them in the earlier rounds. A great bunch of people. Learned a lot about how they organize their teams. It was a lot of fun.
And congratulations to a Norway team.
Yeah, got Veronica there on the left.
Raven's Pizza with Marta, Silge, Veronica, and Lynn from Norway. Congratulations. A lot of teams just want to do a puzzle in the finals, and these teams are doing multiple puzzles and getting them done.
Look in the background. I mean, first of all, congrats to that team. But in the background, a couple of Peace Talk shirts. I heard rumor that they might make an appearance here, but I did not know for sure, so it's good to see that.
Oh, look at this acceleration. This is what I love to see, is when the physicality comes in, when they know that close is coming to an end.
Yeah, and it's often the most fun part of doing a puzzle is that last end burst.
Oh, and a wave. You know, Rob. What is just a quick point? What do you think it feels like to be able to finish a puzzle in this time for teams?
I have to believe that it feels amazing. I don't know because we've never gotten anywhere close to that. But I think that for a lot of people, doing their best job here in this competition is what they're going for, and that may be a best time, that may just be a best execution, like actually executing their strategy. So I think it must be amazing. And we're getting some folks moved in here.
If you want to use this, you can make sure they all have mics.
All right, we're taking us a second to get some table tactics figured out. So let's hand around another mic. As we see some team number 98 with some signs. Unfortunately, I can't translate that, but hopefully that's a good shout out to some folks. All right.
Oh, there we go. So hello, Rob. Again, I've got the first Spanish finishers here.
Yeah, nice job.
A little bit of content. They are todos a la calle. Everyone out in the street. Guys, how was it? ¿Cómo fue?
Muy bien.
See, you can say that in English. Very good. They've been hell for leather. So what do you think of the puzzle choices? Las elecciones de los puzzles. ¿Qué opinasteis?
At first, we think that
There we go. Do you see?
At first, we think that the first puzzle, the sky that have a mountain, we think that it's difficult than the other. So
which one did you start with?
With the sky, with the
one with the sky. So with the aurora. Okay. And because you thought that was the easiest one, start with
we think that was the difficult.
More difficult.
So you start with the hard one.
Wasn't.
And do you start with the hard one on purpose so that you can end on an easier one?
Yes.
Is that so that you can feel better about the end, or you just like to why save the easy one to last?
Yes.
¿Por qué? Sí. ¿Por qué hacer el más fácil?
Because we were more tired and we can do slower.
Very good, very good. And you guys? So you're probably the youngest finishers in the top. What position were you? Fifth? What? ¿Qué puesto? What? 10. Okay. And you're the youngest finishers in the top 10?
Yes.
Los más jóvenes. How old are you guys? Your two brothers, yeah? Edu and Gaby, right? Yeah? Okay, so how was it for you, this World Championships? ¿Cómo fue para vosotros este campeonato?
Good.
Good?
Yes.
Yeah? And so have you learned new things? Did you like the puzzle choices? Las elecciones de los puzzles,
Yes.
¿os han gustado? Which is your favorite puzzle of the week?
In teams or
in whichever. What was highlighted, the best part of the week?
I like the puzzle of the final individual.
The individual. The black one.
Yes.
Oh.
Interesting choice.
Interesting choice. Yeah. What about the rest of you? What were your best puzzles? Soraya, what was your favorite? Tu favorito?
Mi puzzle favorito. Pues no sabría decir. No sabría decir cuál de los dos. En cada uno me ha gustado una zona.
So in each event, she's liked a different one. And what about you?
The pairs. The final of pairs.
The speed puzzling one. Well, guys, thanks very much for coming to say hello. Muchas gracias. And mucha suerte. Nos veremos el año que viene. See you next year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Todos a la calle. A la calle.
A la calle.
Outside, get out.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. I just thought we'd catch up with we're in Spain, we've got to catch up with some Spanish as well.
So is this the first year that Gaby could compete in individuals?
Possibly.
Okay.
Possibly. I have a feeling that that he didn't compete. I mean, it's term time as well, so it's difficult to get them. In fact, it's the first week back, and they're not from this town. They're from, I'm not sure where they're from, but they're from a different town. So it's difficult to skip a whole week school to come and compete. I mean, there are certainly some. I know there are some. People get special permission. You're taking part in something.
Right.
As long as they do a report on it or an assignment about what they've done, and they report back and do a show and tell, I think you'd call it over in the US.
That's right. And to be young enough that you have to worry about getting an excuse from school to compete in the world stage of jigsaw puzzling, that is a pretty amazing place to be in.
Incredible.
Because, Gabi especially, but Eduardo and Alejandro as well. Really great puzzlers. They
really,
can easily
really good, yes.
be here, and I think that many of them did individuals, or did none of them do individuals? I saw them doing pairs.
They definitely did pairs. Yeah. I don't remember seeing them in individuals.
Right,
so
but they could be world-class competitors easily. So it's just fun to think that world-class competitors need to get an excuse to get out of school.
Yes, Rob, I wish I could have spent more of the week concentrating on what was going on the tables. There's been a lot going on this week, and it's been a lot of it's been away from the tables. Unfortunately, it's been to do with the tables.
Well, tell us a story or two while we've got you here.
Well, I mean, I've gone viral in a puzzle community sense, and there's been a picture of me going viral, holding a chair upside down to prevent one of the puzzle, because we had a massive storm, and then a leak came through, and I had to improvise. And I thought, how can I stop the rain coming? I noticed that an upside down chair would at least sort of accumulate some of the water without it dripping onto the puzzles of the table who are underneath.
To me, that picture that was taken, well, and in fact, I was just watching you do it as we were running around trying to gather information and put it on the live stream. Sort of a icon of how I feel about you at this particular situation in this competition is you're up there on the stage, but you're also whatever needs to be done. You can tell that Charlie's going to be in the middle of that. If it requires holding a chair.
It turned the figurative plugging leaks to the literal collecting leaks, and it really did turn the figurative into the real world.
So tell me, because I'm really curious, how did you manage the time tracking because you had to move that team, right?
Well, we were just going to give them redress. I'm not sure if they asked for the redress, but we definitely said, yes, we'll give you some redress, a minute or 2 minutes, something sensible. I don't think it was critical. It wasn't one of the front runners. But everyone takes each place seriously,
as they should.
And nobody's going to begrudge a team who's had water dripping on their table onto their puzzles a little redress. We're not going to bump them up 10 places, but just a minute.
And was it physically moving the puzzle to a different table?
They physically moved the puzzle to another table.
Got it.
One of them was so concentrated, he had no idea I was there or what was happening, and so he was just doing the puzzle, and I'm holding the chair, and he's still doing the puzzle underneath me, and I'm saying, I didn't say anything to him, actually. I just waited for his teammates to go, we're moving.
I think that speaks so much, not just to the puzzlers, but to how much trust they have in you, in that a lot of the puzzlers know that you're one of the folks that they can rely on to help solve a lot of problems. The puzzlers can rely on you to solve a lot of problems, and they know that if something goes wrong, Charlie's going to be able to help out with it. I'm kind of excited that we had a group come on here talk about a European committee that's forming and a European championship that they're going to be continuing.
Well, that's exciting news. It's all exciting news, and to have something to make things more official is essential going forward. I've been saying it for a while. I've been in conversations and as interpreter, and latterly a little more vociferously, because an advocate for change and for democracy, for transparency, and it's absolutely essential that it's growing, and there are more loopholes. I had to clarify a rule, slightly disingenuously, I'm going to say, but there's a rule which says you cannot have a 1-by-1 pattern of a puzzle there. Now, if you don't break up the puzzle when you're doing a 1,000-piece puzzle, theoretically, you have the pattern of a 1-by-1 pattern of the puzzle cut, which is the case anyway. But it was really to clarify that you break up the puzzle. Nobody gained any advantage. We're talking about 3 seconds here, and this is what we're getting to, the minimal gains. But in my opinion, personally, it shouldn't be about the minimal gains. Should be about your movement, your piece control with your fingers, rather than a technicality, which is what we started the week with as well with opening the box. I mean, you don't ask Usain Bolt, okay, Usain, get those trainers on and do 100 meters. Go. He's ready to go.
Well, and I think you were a great advocate in making that switch to give people time to get into the box. A lot of the puzzlers have said thank you. I mean,
it was again, and then we go back, and that is a simple committee decision, a very simple committee decision, which you just say, right, let's do this, and votes in favour. Anyway, but it started off the week with a cheer. A cheer for a rule change. Who would have thought that?
Yeah.
Which isn't.
The room erupted. It was great.
It was the room absolutely did erupt, and and certainly no one's. I've had no comeback from it.
No, and it feels like if that happens, then you've made a good decision, right? Because sometimes it can be really hard to tell what the right decision is. But when the entire room erupts in cheers for a rule update, you've made the right decision. And I know that there's been a lot of rule clarifications in some odd situations where rules didn't need to exist before, but this is sort of the nature of elite competition, is that people find the ways to poke at the edge of the rules, and sometimes chaos happens and you have to adapt to it. One of the things I did appreciate is that it seemed like the rules were changing only during each round, like for a specific round and not during so everybody in the round was
teams. It was I'd said it, but I obviously hadn't made it clear enough. I think it was more I hadn't made it clear to the judges, and the judges weren't clear. And of course, not everyone's English, and not everyone speaks English. Nobody has tried to gain an advantage. We're talking about in the heats. We're talking about 3 seconds, and it's just we just want it doesn't have to be back in the box. It's to be signed off. You can be opening up the other box, but just put the pieces away, and just basically as it's always been done. And it's just here, nothing's changed. You finish you clear away the first puzzle, and you'll start and moving the next one in. And I think it was just a clarification.
And we've seen some teams finishing here. I just want to point out, like, we've seen Mexico, we've seen Brazil, we've seen Iceland. I love to see all kinds of different countries and representations here at the World Jigsaw Puzzle Competition. I think South America is a great growth area. Asia is a great growth area. Africa is a great growth area. I love to see as many folks from those regions as possible here.
Yes, absolutely. There we are.
And another strong fish. Charlie, do you think we're going to be able to clear the room in under the 3-hour time limit here?
Ooh,
because I'm really excited. It's looking like it. There's not a lot left.
I haven't looked at the back of the room. I'm not sure how people are going. I mean, bearing in mind that it's the top 25 from 4 heats, I'm going to say that, looking at the room, I'm going to say that most people are going to finish.
Yeah, we're looking at, it looks like we're looking at a team down in the lower left with a lot of things to do, but I happen to know that is a Portland-based team, my hometown, and they're on their second. They're doing a different puzzle entirely.
And this is
okay, I'm going to say go and give way to another great team to give their thoughts. We're still competing in the teams competition, as you can see. They are the Puzzle Guzzlers, and I'm going to move out. You're going to move into my place, and here we are. What's the name of your team?
Congrats, Puzzle Goggles.
Need for Speed. I got the Need for Speed. There we go. Top Gun references there. Shows my age. Great. Need for Speed are going to come and talk to you now.
We are flying into the puzzle zone here as we come into the closing 45 minutes of this team's final at the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championships. We have some people coming in to sit down next to us. We're going to ask you to turn on the mics and get pretty close to them so that way we can hear you. Because we've been burnt by this before, please tell me your names.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth. I'm Daria.
And together you are?
We are Need for Speed.
All right, so I saw it on the back of your shirt, but explain the Need for Speed.
It's just an acronym of all of our first names. So Nick, Edith, Elizabeth, Daria. And it's
want
true.
to be speedy.
We have a Need for Speed.
So how speedy were these two puzzles then?
I think they were a little tough, but we're happy with our time. We finished just over 2 hours. But yeah, it was definitely a challenge, I think.
The landscape was very dark at the bottom.
It looked like it was very dark
Yes.
at the bottom. And so did you start with the landscape or did you start with the busier puzzle?
We started with the busy first.
And did you find that to be fairly straightforward or was that complex?
I mean, I think it was the easier of the two, perhaps, but it wasn't an easy puzzle, I don't think. It was sortable to a degree, but yeah, I think we just pushed through it.
I think, yeah, I mean, it was pretty busy, and I think busy kind of is one of our strengths. So, yeah, I just feel like it was a good choice for us to go first.
So then you got that one out of the way. Were you guys feeling good about the progression and after you'd finished that one, getting that one done and then rolled it out, built out the next one? And were you excited about the next one or intimidated by the next one? Or did you guys have a plan? What was your thinking?
I think both is the answer. Oh
God!
Daria and I were very excited about the sky. That was awesome. Rest of it, maybe a little intimidated.
We wanted to do that landscape second because we were hoping it would get a little brighter, so the dark pieces wouldn't look so bright, and the sun kept coming in and out. So
we were hypothesizing that maybe people would want to plan for when to do that other puzzle, and we hadn't talked to anybody, as far as I know, who'd actually mentioned that. So it's interesting that it was on your radar, and so it theoretically would have worked, but unfortunately the lighting didn't hold out for you.
Yeah, it was on and off, but we made it through. We pushed through, and I'm proud of us.
Nice. And so how does where you placed land with how you sort of expected to place? Like, were you about where you expected, or did you guys not have any idea and you're just happy to be here and compete? And
I don't know. I'd say it's tough to say. I mean, we were 8th in the first prelim. So, I mean, being at a high table number was maybe a little intimidating. I think it was more we wanted to finish well within the time, and we did exactly that. So I think 2 hours was a good time for us.
Yeah. How does it feel to put up such a good time around all these amazing puzzlers? Like you all did fantastic. It's hard to finish 2 1,000-piece puzzles in 3 hours, and you guys smashed that. Tell us a little bit about how that feels.
it feels awesome. I think we had such a good time and so much fun, and kind of humbling to be around such amazing people.
At any point while you were puzzling, were you guys really focused on each other, or did you get distracted by judges running around or other tables' applauses, that kind of stuff?
I mean, I think in this one, well, in all of our puzzles, I think we try to keep a really positive attitude. Edith had a lot of encouraging words for us, and I think if you get frustrated, it can just make things worse. So we try really hard to be positive, and I need reminders of that, especially in
so
this
Edith,
last
are you
one.
the designated cheerleader?
I don't know if it's designated, but I do it either way.
Yeah, it's in a position you're just happy to take.
It was. I would say we weren't. At least I wasn't distracted by what was happening in the dome, except that when we were finishing our first puzzle, there was a judge there, and then as we were getting into putting our last pieces, they just walked away.
Oh no!
Oh no!
So there was all of a sudden, but they found us.
Yeah.
It was okay. They got our time.
Yeah, I have to say, you said that it's great to be in the presence of world-class puzzlers, but you guys finished 2 puzzles in 2 hours, 1,000-piece puzzles. I think that qualifies you as world-class puzzlers.
Thank you. Thank you. I think we are.
Yeah.
I'm really, really pleased with us, and we live in 2 different states, so we
I was going to say, I noticed because you have the states on there, so tell me how you guys came together.
At U.S. Nationals this past year, I was watching my pairs partner at the time, and he was right next to Edith,
And so I actually captured her finish on my phone and did a little airdrop to her afterwards because I had like a perfect view of her. And then we just ran into each other during that weekend and then connected. And we only had time to practice 2 puzzles, I don't know, 2-3 days ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was really impressive. So did you work out, when you puzzled as a practice for the first time, did you have a lot to work through and like who's doing what, or like just collisions? We've heard other teams that came, like pairs that came together for the first time, sometimes it doesn't work out really well.
Well, we kind of had a couple of meetings over FaceTime and things like that, so we kind of knew generally where we would stand, who was doing what, that kind of thing. And then the first practice, we kind of solidified, okay, these are where we're going to stand. This is who's puzzling upside down. You know, if we need to switch, we need to switch, you know, whatever.
Who's puzzling upside down?
That would be Daria and I, for the most part.
And is that because that you have an affinity for puzzling upside down, or at least a capability of puzzling upside down? How do you get to be the upside down person?
I think we both just had the capability, and Edith very strongly prefers to puzzle right side up. So Daria and I are kind of the ones that are like, yeah, we'll give it a shot.
For me, it's like not really that different than puzzling upside down. And when we do pairs, I'm usually the upside down person, so kind of used to it.
Yeah, I've talked to a few people who are very much like they're looking at the picture as just a series of colors, and so upside down, right side up doesn't matter for them. But I know other people like it's hardcore, like this is an image, I need to really relate to it in the orientation that it's going to be. So it's interesting how different mindsets come to play in this.
Yeah, Daria is also our like sky expert, so it works out for her to be closer to that part. So yeah, no, I think it worked out pretty well.
So Elizabeth, what is your expertise? Where are you playing in all of this?
If there is no sky, then I do the edges. And then, I mean, I think I'm good at building, and then sometimes just getting an idea of like the bigger picture and when the different chunks can go together when we have a big connect. But I think we're all pretty versatile, and we can all jump in wherever we need to.
Do you guys have like a designated puzzle boss who's like sort of giving direction, or is it approached by committee? Like when you get to the deciding which puzzles to do in which order, for example, is that just everybody votes and we go?
I would say it was a general vote overall. I'd say Elizabeth takes a little bit of charge, kind of like these are what we're seeing type of thing.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not a bad thing. So.
Well, as the person who's looking at, it sounds like you've got the bigger picture going on. Like I find that that's a valuable thing to have on your team, is somebody who's looking at the bigger picture, because you can get really focused in on the projects that you're working on and then lose track of everything else. And having somebody who's got both where all those pieces are going to go, but also a sense of like those pieces need to come into the puzzle so that people can build off them, is a really important trait.
Yeah.
I know very few people like to self-identify as the puzzle boss, despite the fact that it is a very valuable person, teammate. And I'm finding that the person who speaks last is usually the one who's the boss, because they don't want to actually say on air that I'm the boss of them. But everybody goes, yeah, well, that person's obviously the boss.
Thanks for being the boss, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
Well, we don't want to keep you guys from going and celebrating and enjoying everything. Do you have any shout outs, love that you want to send to people in the puzzle world? Anything you want to say before we let you go?
I want to give a shout out to all of our Orange County speed puzzlers and just general like SoCal puzzlers. We have a lot of friends staying up all night to watch us. I think it's been like 3 a.m. back there at times. And then my parents and everybody at home.
Yeah, thanks to the family and friends, and then Puzzle Republic for having incredible puzzle attire. I've been wearing puzzle pants all week, so it's been a lot of fun.
The Cincinnati Puzzlers are an awesome group. My dear family and friends who've been watching this week, especially my adorable little nieces and nephews, they are the best. And they are Lawrence, Everett, Ethan, Eric, and Cora, and Annalise and Desmond.
Yeah, and I'll give a quick shout out to the Columbus Puzzlers. Everybody who wrote me a letter. This is my first international trip, so a bunch of people wrote me letters kind of encouraging me through Worlds and getting around Spain and all of that. And lastly, to my wife, who is actually working right now, but I think she's got the stream on. So, yeah.
Well, hi to Nick's wife.
I was saying, and also my husband who's here.
Oh yeah, the husband as well. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, And the last shout out to Zacco Boards. He provided us some great boards, and we're so grateful. And he's been a great cheerleader too. So.
Love Zach. Yeah. All right. Well, Need for Speed. Well done. Thank you for coming and chatting with us.
Thank you.
Go
so
celebrate.
You've been doing such an amazing job. We appreciate it.
Rob's the best. Congratulations, guys. You're amazing. And we can see we're coming in on the 2 hours and 22-minute line, and we have a lot of finishes that have already happened. We're only down to maybe a handful of tables remaining. I think we're going to get to clear the room. And here's another one coming into the last 20 pieces or so. I think that's Kinga being able to wrap this one up.
I think we're both fast looking for this. Maybe this is a Jigsaw.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Olivia.
Olivia, Moisa, Kinga, and Powell.
Nice. Congratulations. Got another team finishing here. Some Taylor Swift fans and the Puzzle Master. It's good to see where the Puzzle Master is. I've always wondered.
And it's really nice to see them be able to swiftly puzzle through these as quickly as possible. Hopefully Taylor takes notice and makes a song about how fast they did that.
You did that so smoothly, I almost didn't notice it. So it looks like we've got from Serbia, Not Fast But Furious. So Janine, Gabriella, Evelyn, and Eva. Looks like they're coming right at the end. They've picked the landscape puzzle as their second puzzle, maybe hoping also to take advantage of the change of lighting. They're working through those dark spots just like we have seen everybody else. I can't tell, maybe they've got a little bit of a shape sort going on, but they're pulling together the last few pieces here and getting it all taken care of. There's Viennese puzzlers down there on the left. Looks like we've got some Swedish puzzlers on the upper left there. Holmgrens, Lydia, Tova, Michaela, and Linda. And I didn't catch the Vienna puzzlers down, Vienna Jigsaw Puzzler Society, which I saw earlier, and I think it's such a cool name because it just sounds so fancy. But speaking of fancy, we've got some folks joining us here at the microphone. Would you do us a favor and go around and tell us your team name and introduce yourselves?
Hi, we're from a team from Mexico. The team name is Nakamas, friends in Japanese. My name is Rodrigo.
Hi, I'm Jose.
I'm Gabi.
I'm
Christian.
Oh, that's some of the best mic usage we've seen all day. Well done.
Oh, thank you.
What'd you think of these puzzles?
I like them. We're not that good with the busy puzzles, but it was pretty nice, very colorful.
And did you start with the busy puzzle or did you start with the landscape?
With the busy.
With the busy puzzle. And what was the thinking behind that choice?
Honestly, there were just 10 seconds and we're like, do we gonna go with the saturated one with full of details, or do we just want to chill and go with gradient and then the darks from the mountain and the river? And at the end we just left the saturated box, but for sure, I mean, on the prelims we kind of tried the hard one first and that didn't really work out for us.
Okay.
And so we rank up like, I don't know, at least 15 places, so we're good.
From 94 placement overall
to 70 something, I think.
Wow. Yeah, I was going to ask, what does it feel like to put up such a great time? Like when you guys practice, I assume you've done a couple 1,000-piece puzzles before.
Yeah.
Like as a group. Is this about on par with how you've done? Is this better? Like where does this sit in the pantheon of your team?
More or less.
It's the first time we actually compete as a team.
You're kidding.
In a competition.
You're kidding.
But practice is a little bit.
Okay.
Go ahead and lean up into the mic.
Yeah. We haven't practiced that much together, but in a competition, this is the first time that we've puzzled together.
So wait, this is the first time you've puzzled together in competition, and you made it into the finals, and you completed 2,000 pieces. That is wild. Congratulations. That's a huge accomplishment. Tell me a little bit about how you're feeling right now.
Exhausted.
Honestly, it has been really fun. It's my second Worlds. It's the first of our champion from Mexico and co-champion over there, and it's been wonderful so far. Several other colleagues are thinking about coming next year too.
Yeah, what is the puzzling scene like in Mexico? Because I haven't seen a lot of folks from Mexico, and then I suddenly saw a good number of you guys here, and it seems like Mexico. I think you and I were talking earlier in the competition about the kind of growth of puzzling in Mexico. What's that like?
Well, we had like 8 national tournaments yearly, so it started a while ago. However, as big as Mexico is, communities are starting to pop up in the last couple of years. So we have each state or province, they're starting up their own competitions. And so things are looking good. We just had an 8-hour marathon on August for 4,500 pieces, and that was good. And we've been keeping up with new tournaments and other types of advantages and new events that come up.
Nice. Is there an organization at the country level in Mexico?
Oh yes, there's an association. Currently, the leadership is with Annabelle, but it's gonna probably be handed over soon, I think. She's been a great 8 years. She's done a great job. And there are other small groups popping up, making their own events too, but we're all good between each other. We have good communication.
Now, Mexico's a fairly big country. Are you guys located near each other, or are you guys far apart?
All three of us are from the same city.
Oh.
And he's from Mexico City.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you imported him into the team.
It's about a 10-hour drive away, so it's not that close and not that far.
Okay, well, 10 hours is close and far relative to where you are in the world.
Yeah.
It's a long ways in some parts of the world and not very long in the other parts of the world.
Oh, yeah, no, that's really. Tell us a little bit about how you organize your puzzling. Like, is somebody a sorter? Is somebody a builder? How do you plan around doing things like this?
It's something that we've discussed recently. Right after the prelims, we were on the phone saying, okay, let's do this. How about this? Place the pieces over there. It was just a bunch of scribbles on the cell phone. So it's not something that's really set in stone, but something that we're actively working on, trying to get better as well.
Yeah, and definitely, I mean, both of these guys, Rodrigo and Corres, are the top 5 on the fastest on Mexico. So we start being sorters, and then we go and puzzle together after a bit. Depending on the puzzle too, right? But basically, they're the strong points for when we're puzzling.
Definitely.
You a little bit of feed the beast kind of tactic.
Yeah. Sometimes the beast is really hungry, so you gotta work for it.
Something that we did with the landscape puzzle is that Christian and I did the sky. We separated first me on the purple and the very clear parts on the white and purple, and he started with the greens. After that, we started working together, trying to go left and right, and with that, try to give them guys also some space to create the whole mountain, the grass, some parts of the rivers, the waterfalls, instead of just asking them for pieces, like let's do this, and then afterwards, let's puzzle together, all 4 of us, on the bottom part. And I think it worked well.
So do you feel like if you guys have had more opportunity to practice, you'd do even better this time around?
I think we do.
Yeah. Definitely, no question.
Always is something like to be better with the practice, but I think we did very well in this one. So
you did amazing. I mean, anytime you can come in and knock out 2 1,000-piece puzzles in a couple of hours is a pretty good feat.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm kind of now I'm really curious. I know that a lot of times when your team is shown up on camera or in other places, Fernando does a dance, and are you guys all wanting to boogie a little bit from time to time, or is that kind of a one-off?
Sorry, come again?
Do you guys like to do the jigsaw jig kind of a thing after you complete a puzzle?
Not really. We're more for cheering and clapping each other and
Okay.
just like that. Yeah.
We're very loud.
But we I'm a cheerer. You can usually hear my voice screaming names, and so that's definitely part of the way we cheer everybody up, including other Latin American countries.
So when you're at the table, are you guys yelling at each other a lot, or is it pretty positive? How does it sound on the table itself?
We started to sing. That helped. We started to sing together.
Wait,
we started to sing together.
You started to sing?
Yeah, just a little bit.
What songs do you sing? Now I'm really curious.
Say that.
Well, you can tell us the name of the songs. I think it's not public domain to say the name of the song.
I think that, that's going to be difficult for them.
Okay, top secret information.
Yeah.
All
Something
right.
that I do as well is to just
recipe.
say what I'm doing, or colors, or take this. Sometimes talking to myself, and they ask, what? Nothing, I'm talking to myself.
So is there a lot of noise in, like a lot of boisterous conversation at your guys' table, or is it?
Not quite. Usually, sometimes it's like, shut up. And so we get real quiet, and we got time for puzzle. But there's definitely communication happening, right? Hey, I got this, I'm missing this, I can't do this, want to change, give me that tray, blah, blah, blah. But just silence usually, and just here and there.
Was that kind of communication something that came naturally, or did you have to guys work on it?
No, I mean, the things naturally. Yeah. Even the first few minutes where we're turning pieces, we're like, oh, should we buy these puzzles? Because there's 4 of us. Do you think we should let her know? Oh, we missed the chance. Oh, I think there's going to be left.
Well, what about talking about the tactics as you're moving along? Like, it sounds like you guys do a good job of talking through, like, I've got this, you need this, this is what I'm seeing over here. Is that something that you guys had to work on?
Well, I mean, again, because we're kind of a new team, we have discussed several strategies. In this case, specifically, as we came along, we kind of started doing stuff. We, did kind of like the frog thingy where we were changing spots every now and then. And then once we have a good amount of pieces set on the puzzle, we just exchange trays. But again, prelims was different, so we've been changing along the way.
Do you guys have plans for your next competition at this point?
Oh, yeah.
Well, we do have a tournament in 50 days in Monterey, which is World Texas, and that's the second biggest tournament in Mexico.
How many people turn out for a tournament like that?
A couple hundred, probably.
Couple hundred, yeah, that's fairly sizable.
But I mean, Rodrigo here is looking for another championship in Mexico, and there are new teams popping up, new people, individuals who get to know these types of competitions, and so we get surprises. Last year, we got a new surprise girl who won the championship, and nobody knew her.
Yes.
So
first time going there.
Yeah, I love those kinds of moments when somebody suddenly comes out of the woodwork. Even better is when they don't know that they're going to be great, and then they finish and they're like, wait, what?
Did I win?
Yeah. And we also have someone who's had a lot of experience in the past years who was retired. And now with Puzzle Chess, she's coming along. She's been on Turkey and other places. She's got 300 plus videos like spinning up. And so we're hoping to get those people who kind of stop puzzling to come again and do competition too.
Well, that's really exciting. I'm glad that the scene is growing and you have more competitions coming down the pipeline. We don't want to keep you from going to celebrate and enjoy the rest of the day. Do you have any shout outs, love you want to give to people before you head off?
Well, Panama, Brazil, Colombia, Costa Rica, everybody for LATAM. We're looking forward to perhaps in the near future do an America's Cup. So we'll see.
Oh, that would be beautiful.
Yeah. Bring it.
That'd be wonderful.
That would be great. Hi to my wife and daughters. They're back home. I left them for about 2 weeks. They miss me. I miss them. Happy to go home.
Well, to my family and everyone in Monterrey that is watching us, they're like up very early over there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Like 1 a.m.
Club of Puzzle, the Amigos de Gus. Hi, everybody.
And thanks to everybody from Mexico for being part of the community, and to everybody of you here for having us.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure talking with you guys, and I love hearing how all the different countries are doing things. And thanks for coming by and talking with us.
Oh, thanks for inviting us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy
Congratulations. Great job. I do want to point out that the people on this crew, during some of the other rounds, they were fanning other teams during the heat. It was absolutely sweet. And this is what I mean sometimes by it's not just great teams, it's also great individuals that are doing a lot for other people.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm looking at the screen here, and I'm seeing a team of 4, a team of 3, possibly another team of 3, and a team of 2.
Yeah, there's been a lot of people stepping out. We've had a couple people that had trains that they needed to catch, or the flights are a little awkwardly timed. So people started hoping that they would be able to finish before they had to run, and then needed to bounce out pretty early. But they are still making really good progress. We're at 2 hours, 36 minutes, and about 16 seconds here in the team's final of the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championships 2025, and they are doing a really good job. It's not easy to do these puzzles with a team of 4, let alone a team of 3, let alone in general. Trying to get this kind of thing done in the timeline is wild.
Yeah, was it Rachel Chambers that came by to let us know that she was going to be a person down on her team, so there's going to be a team of 3? I wonder where she ended up finishing.
Yeah, and that's, those things kind of happen with teams that were just excited to get into the final. Like, their goal was, let's make it to the final, and then anything after that is icing on the cake. Yeah. So once they've hit that line, if they lost a person, they're not going to really try to fill that gap.
Well, and I think that's what Rachel said, is she's like, we're a person down, we're not going to be competitive, but gosh, we get to do a couple more puzzles.
Hey, net win right there. Yeah. And you can see several of these teams are coming in on the close, which is really exciting. And that lower left-hand corner, they only have that gap. It's really cool that even these teams that are on the slower end of the competition, that may not be in that upper echelon, they have the same gaps that are left that a lot of the champions did, that a lot of those front tables had. Right. Where it's that lower left-hand corner that's real tricky. There's sort of that Swiss cheese on the busy ladybug. It's fascinating to see that everybody kind of runs into the same speed bumps.
Right. Yeah, it's the challenges for the elites are the challenges for the rest of us ultimately as well. It looks like Rachel Chambers on her team of 3 finished in 2 hours and 25 minutes, which looks like a pretty great finish for a team of 3.
I mean, it's a great finish for a team of 4. It's a great finish in general.
No, that's a great point. That is an amazing finish for a team of any size.
It's really cool. And we have another team joining us at the table, so if you wouldn't mind turning on those little microphones and getting real close to the mic. You might have to trade it around a little bit. But do me a favor, because we've been burned by this. Please tell me your names.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Matthias.
Kat. I'm Maria.
I'm Nadia.
And your team is?
The Crazy Cats.
Clearly, a different Crazy Cat on each shirt, and many different countries. So tell us a little bit about your team.
Yeah, so we represent Indonesia, Germany, Spain, and the US. And we found that puzzle competitions, it was a really coincidence, actually. Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And we all live in Germany, so it's easy to meet up and do competitions together.
That was the piece I was missing. I was like, how did you guys, with all that different geography, come together? So you're all in Germany currently.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice. And so the German puzzling seems very vibrant. We see a lot of Germans here. Obviously, a lot of people living in Germany also here. I'm curious as to how your team found these 2 puzzles. What did you think of them?
Well, when we first saw the puzzles, we decided on the order we want to do them, and pretty quick we decided to start with the busy one and do the landscape as a second.
And why that order?
We felt the busy one suited more to our puzzle style for the beginning, to have a flow.
And then we kind of pick up the flow when we go, and the second one moves faster because we're in the puzzle mode. So that one was just naturally going, even though it was tricky in parts, the dark part. Yeah.
So you treated it like a warm-up almost, just to rev the engine, so that way you could really take off. Yeah. Crack the knuckles, make sure that the air conditioner's on, that kind of thing.
So have you guys done a lot of practicing together? It sounds like you have at least some familiarity with how you would approach things.
Well, we puzzled together on the European Championship in Budapest, so that was the first time that we puzzled together.
So do you guys only do championships? Is that the only time you puzzle together?
Yeah. I guess that's one of the benefits living in Germany and in Europe. You have so many competitions in other countries. For example, we've been to Luxembourg for their championship together in some parts of the group, and in Trier for a championship as well. That's a nice benefit to have.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. So have you only done the 2? You've sounds like you've been in a couple of championships. Do you guys practice outside of championships, or is it?
We have a couple of times met outside the competitions. Yeah.
Just once.
I was noticing the hesitation on how much to admit there for that kind of thing.
It feels like we're meeting a lot lately.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And that's just because the competition schedule is pretty stacked for you? Yeah. Okay. How many competitions have you done recently? Like how close together have these been for you? Yeah.
Well, we did one in Budapest, in the Netherlands. Yeah. So in 3 years,
the marathon.
So we did the
3 or 4
marathon.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty stacked. Now, given that the team name is Crazy Cats, when you're puzzling, are the pieces just all over the place and everybody's pawing and that like what does it look like on the table whenever you're going to work?
She's always doing the edge. So she's
Maria's doing the edge?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're quite organized, I think.
I think we got more organized this Worlds too, with the
couple more worlds and you guys will be champions.
Yeah.
So are there roles that everybody takes? You've got an edge person, but are there other roles that folks have?
Like Nadia made gradients.
I feel like I'm more of the sorter from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm more of the gradient type, so sky and
water.
Yeah, we sat at the same positions in the final now as in the semi-finals. So we were a little surprised that we all sat down at the same spot. So that was not choreographed in the beginning.
Yeah, I'm quite comfortable doing like upside down.
Oh.
So my place is fixed.
Right, you're going to be on the other side.
Yeah.
Catherine, I didn't see you lean forward and say your special skill. You are just a generalist.
I just do projects, and I like to be given things to do and projects. But sometimes I'm a sorter in the beginning. I noticed in the beginning we put trays in the center and then dumped the pieces, which worked better. And then we pulled them away, so the center was free. And then we put the edges in the center and shuffled them to Maria.
Yeah, that was something I hadn't really thought of before until I started seeing people doing it. And I'm like, we should do that. So you're the person who gets projects and assembles projects. Who's the person, Mateus, are you usually giving the projects?
At the beginning a little, yeah.
Yeah.
When we sort the pieces, we try to identify which batches we want to make. And then we try to distribute them. If they're like on the bottom, I give them to Nadia. If they're on the top, I give them to Maria. Yeah.
There's so many really great teams around, and I mean, you all are clearly one of them because, and a big congratulations. I think that's a mixed team with Indonesia and Australia. You're at the World Championships. You made it into the final. You put up a fantastic time. What sort of tips or tricks might you give to people that are interested in speed puzzling but might be nervous about giving it a go?
I feel like the thing that helps us the most is communicating right from the beginning.
Yes.
When we flip the pieces, everyone speaks out, I see this color, I see this shape, I see this area. This helps us a lot, that everyone has the same base understanding of the image and what we're going to work on.
And sometimes helps if someone is stuck, just say it out loud and change places. Because sometimes with new eyes you see quickly.
Did you have to do a lot of that in these two puzzles?
And the second one we did, yes.
The second one you had to change places. Yeah, it's actually amazing how much a change of perspective, even if it's a small one, can make in your ability to land a bunch of pieces.
Yes.
And I love when you move into somebody else's area and you've got their pieces in, like the pieces they were working in front of you, and suddenly you see stuff that they don't see, and there's at least for me, there's a sudden burst of being able to place some things into place.
It's nice. It's nice. It's nice when that happens.
Do you think about that actively before you move to another spot? Do you kind of tidy up the area a little bit? Sort of like sweeping things under the rug before somebody comes over?
We're the crazy cats. No, we just leave it.
You get my disaster. You make what you will out of it.
Probably we say just change places because I see nothing. It's chaos. Here.
What I like to do sometimes when I change to another place, I tell the person going onto my spot before, this is what I was working on. Here are some pieces over there, that's over here. That the person coming in has a sort of start a little bit.
And you're also good about saying I have a tree piece, I'm putting the tree piece in front of you, or I'm putting telling someone what is coming their way so they're aware, even if you might not look at it, at least okay, I heard you.
I know we don't have you all on camera right now, but you all are smiling and looking at each other, and it seems pretty content. Is that always the case when you get together for these championships?
I think it's important that a group has a good feeling to work together.
Yeah.
Yes.
And even if the puzzle is hard, that we still have fun doing it. So
That's the great thing about teams, I feel like, is that no matter how hard the puzzle is, you can still be having a good time. Is if you somebody's usually the cheerleader, somebody's usually telling you that not to worry so much about it, and if you can break yourself out of that sort of with really bad puzzles, if you can break yourself out of that, it can still be a whole lot of fun just to be together. It's sort of like in a bad situation, we're all pulling together as a team. But even like when things are going really well, it's great to celebrate and share, and like the energy is really fun. I enjoy teams a lot. So do you guys also all compete individually?
We did.
When you're just mentioning the chemistry, I remembered for the second puzzle now, at one point it got really quiet, no one was talking, and then Kat was asking, is everyone doing okay? Right, so that's the spirit that we really like.
I really like those check-ins with the teams to like make sure it's flowing. When you hit that like low point, even with the check-in, how do you pull out of the drudgery of, okay, we're all looking at brute forcing the black pieces and we just have to go, like, what do you say to each other to give yourselves a boost to keep on moving at that stage?
Well, today I'm a teacher, and I always tell my students, like, never give up. So I was like, okay, I'm changing this to puzzlers, and I was like, puzzlers, we never give up, and then just keep going. And then like inside jokes come, and we kind of just laugh, and it boosts the mood a little bit. So
yeah, sometimes just take the pressure away.
So what's the next championship that you're going to practice at?
The next one, I think part of us are going to a championship in Cologne. It's a puzzle event in Cologne, organized by the German organization. And
we are also going to the 10-hour team marathon in Munich.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Munich. And maybe the next one would be the German championship. But
That's really exciting. Those I've seen those marathons, and it can really take it out of you. What do you think would be the longer marathon, the 10-hour back-to-back, or doing worlds over the course of a week?
Well, one thing that Matthias and I did, we did a 10-hour solo marathon. So we puzzled a 10-hour solo.
Oh, so it's old hat. You guys are ready.
Wow, 10-hour solo marathon.
Yes.
That seems like that would be quite, because I'm used to marathons where you sort of have a big enough team that you can trade out some folks. That is a hard core commitment. But I know a lot of puzzlers are just eager to do that. So were you like the 10 hours, no problem, give me a bunch of puzzles, I'm happy?
Yes, sure. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And the 10-hour solo marathon was organized by Katia from Germany. And she made a practice run, and she streamed that on Twitch. It was fascinating to see her going for the entire day, basically eating in between, having a tray with pizza. That was fun to see. So you had a reference. It is possibly physical possibly to do it. That was a nice thing to see.
Yeah, did you gain any tips from watching that?
Not really, actually. you know, Kati. She started in the morning and powered through the entire day without taking a real big break. And we were thinking about how to take breaks in between, eat in between, drink, go outside to the toilet somehow. Right?
Yeah. Well, we don't want to keep you from going and celebrating and enjoying all of the puzzling that's been going on. Do you have any last words, thoughts, wisdom, love you want to tell to the puzzle world before you go?
I'd say stay positive to all the puzzlers out there.
Yeah. Shout out to my cat Poppy at home.
Hi, Poppy.
Just have fun, talk to people, enjoy it.
Yes, so have fun, and shout out also to my husband and kid who's patiently waiting for me the whole week.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Congrats, Crazy Cats. And a jigsaw jig from a team that just completed this under the 3-hour line. Congratulations. We're at 2 hours, 50 minutes, and 37 seconds. So not a lot of time left here in this event. And, people have been pointing out, and we're aware, some of these teams don't have the full complement of 4 people for the round. Some of those people had planes that they needed to catch. Some people got sick. We're not entirely sure who's who on that. But the fact that they are making this much progress with these difficult puzzles is really impressive, and it also shows you how strong of puzzlers these individuals are as a whole.
Yeah, 100% agree. Like you think that it's hard being an elite puzzler and giving complete commit focus for 30 minutes, hour and a half is absolutely true, and I don't want to knock that. But if you are a puzzler who's now working towards hour 3, like we were talking about puzzle marathons, like you're a good chunk of the way into a puzzle marathon. You've got physical stamina you've got to work on, like your back is hurting, your body's ready to give out, you're probably hungry, you may have to go pee, and then you've got mental fatigue setting in. So at the same time, the puzzlers who make it down to the very end, they're a different class of work that they are doing to persevere through there, and it's really impressive.
Absolutely. And joining us at the table is Michelle Casper, co-host, wonderful human being. Michelle competed this round, just absolutely fantastic. Michelle, what are you noticing out there right now?
Well, a lot of teams have lost members. We've heard that there's an airport strike, so some people just decided to leave early just to make sure they got there in time. And for some other reasons, there are members that have lost. We see here that on the left, there's only 3 people on that team. On the right, the team from Lithuania only have 2. So people, it's unfortunate that they missed their team members for the final. But I mean, look at them; they're not giving up. They're doing their best. And it's just really great to see.
And I want to point out that the team on the right, in case it's not clear, this is their second puzzle. So they've already plowed through one puzzle with 2 people, and they're at least halfway through the second puzzle with just 2 people.
Yeah. They're basically doing the pairs final in the teams round on their own. That is what a flex on everybody else needing 4 people in order to get through, and they are doing fantastic with 2. Michelle, I was really curious. You have been running around like crazy this week. You have been competing in all of the divisions. You were in the finals today. You've also been co-hosting and doing a whole bunch of stuff behind the scenes. How do you feel at the end of the week of the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championships 2025 right now?
Well, it has been exhausting, but I have had so many highs this week, so I'm going to be walking away with so many good memories. I mean, from the beginning, like the Guinness World Record was amazing. I had such a great time with Team New Zealand in the 1,500 piece competition, and I mean, the puzzle party was fantastic. And we've had some really great puzzles, and team puzzling is always the best. And there's just been a lot of funny things happening on the side. I mean, last night I was at a restaurant with a group of Germans and Swiss, and we were doing a 1,000-piece puzzle with non-dominant hand only.
I saw that. That was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it was such a good laugh, and it was like this, we have to remember puzzles are fun. It's not just about the competition. Just seeing the smiles and just hanging out with people, like that's for me is such a highlight. Of course, there were many things that happened over the week that were, unexpected, very chaotic, or just things that just jumped up that we didn't expect. But I think overall, people will still walk away with such good memories.
Yeah, what about you, Jim? Actually, you've been co-hosting or hosting a good chunk of this time as well. I know that you haven't engaged in the puzzling because, as we've established, puzzling is beneath you in a way.
Oh, no.
You are more of a strategist.
Oh,
wow. But how's your experience been at this kind of announcing marathon?
It has been an absolute whirlwind. My brain, I'm pretty sure, is 87% liquid soup right now. It's been an honor to be around so many wonderful human beings and people that I look up to, that I find out look up to me in a way, or think that I'm kind of cool, which is bananas to me.
I've seen so many comments, Jim.
And
people love you.
It's just the outpouring from the community. I've never not been to one of these major events in a way where I'm a cog in the machine helping make it happen. And it's really cool to see how much all of the puzzlers and the community really care about the setup and the humans that are involved in it. I've had people bringing me little bits of candy and stuff throughout the day to make sure that we're not passing out. We're right next to where some of the spectators watch, and they occasionally bring a fan over and just sort of hit us with it. So I haven't been at a loss for words very often during this whole week, but when it comes down to that, I certainly am.
I have to say that you can't see it because it's usually not on camera, but 85% of the people that walk by the side of the table, Jim high fives, and he high fives them mostly because they're high fiving him first. So Jim's a great member of the community. Really built some strong relationships in it, and I got to say, Jim, everybody seems to love you.
I think that counts as the one, Rob.
That's the one. Yeah, we told each other we got one compliment per stream, so that's the one.
Jim, I've come to hear you talk us through this one. Come on, what are we seeing here?
Oh man, well, I'm trying to get the table numbers to make sure that we can shout out who the individuals are. But on that left-hand side, they are doing an excellent job. They've gotten the whole sky built out, and now they're working down into those greens. I think there's a little bit of shape sorting going on there on that left.
Hands all over the place.
Yeah, it's going to be a little tricky. You can see that the end of the week is really wearing them down just because it's been so long getting that physicality going. But that right-hand table, they're doing a great job. I just saw a big sort of the reds versus the blues going into there, and I'm really hoping that they get a burst of energy going into the last 4 minutes of this team's round.
Yeah, I think that's the Lithuanian team there on the right.
Oh, fantastic.
Team, yeah, Pez.
Yeah, that is Lithuania.
And I was just going to look to see if I could find out who's left. So I think that the other team must be Germany.
Yeah, the Lithuanian team 27, we believe that's Inga, Urta, Juliana, and Erica. We're not sure which of them are remaining, but they are doing a great job, and I know that the other two people are there in spirit, if nothing else, and that can go a long way. Just knowing people that are cheering for you and wanting you to do well goes a really long way in these kinds of events. Michelle, what do you were just in this not too long ago. You were in the final. What does it feel like whenever you know that you're coming in towards the end and people are excited to see how you're doing?
Yeah, well, you feel that the presence of a camera and people coming closing in, and you know, okay, we're getting close. It's getting exciting, and we can do this, and we just keep on encouraging each other to telling ourselves we can do this, and start consolidating on boards. Make sure that everything is shape sorted and try and make it as easy for us to do a strong finish. But it's definitely very exciting, and it's just been a wonderful experience to puzzle with my team and be up against the best in the world. The competition this morning was very, very high.
You know, we've heard a number of times, but your story is echoes the same thing, that it seemed like you grew into a team. Like you had a team of through the EJJ, as we saw the EJJ heavily represented at the very front, but EJJ is a great way of building community together, and it seems like you found some community yourself, some people that you can puzzle with, some good friends, and so I just love seeing that sort of emergence happen as people find each other through puzzling.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we met at the German Nationals and realized we were all looking for a team. But I mean, it's just so exciting here to watch. We hope that these people can just get a few more pieces in.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they're going to get the biggest share.
On the left-hand side, we found out that is table 88, Speedy Spatzen from Germany. That's Elena, Jane, Ladef, and Franziska coming into the end. We make sure that if you get at least 3 pieces connected, it's going to count towards your total. So anything they get in at this point will count. And being in the teams finals at the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championships is a huge accomplishment. We have 30 seconds remaining, and they are going to be able to pull off a fantastic job without a full team. That's absolutely amazing.
And they'll still always be able to say they participated in the World Championship final, regardless of how many pieces they placed or how many people.
Well, and you can see the crowd starting to form again, knowing that the end is coming in. We're 10 seconds out from the finish here, and we are so excited. There's only Charlie's going to do a countdown for us.
4, 3, 2, 1. It's over.
My favorite part.
Oh, that gives me chills. I just love how everybody comes in and cheers at the end.
They could be so proud of themselves.
For this
they should.
Year's World Jigsaw Puzzle Championship.
They can be so proud of themselves, puzzling for 3 hours. The two of them are on pretty difficult puzzles. The busy puzzle, our team felt more challenging.
Well, 3 hours today, not including the entire week or any of the practice puzzles that they've done, rounds of Puzzle Chicken. There's been so much going on. It's really exciting.
Give you your prizes. So anyway, we'll be with you in a few minutes.
Charlie making a quick announcement there about us headed into closing ceremonies here in a few minutes, and that's part of why the room is being changed over. You can see some of the tables being broken down, but just the outpouring of love from the community for people, whether they finished, whether they didn't finish, is just fantastic.
Yeah, and speaking of outpouring of love, I just want to say that we ended sort of as we began, which is poetic, with Jim, you, Michelle, and myself here on the live stream. I have been so thrilled that you guys involved me in this. I loved being a kind of front row seat of this. It's been an honor to announce next to both of you. Jim, I love that your stats approach, your willingness to drive the energy home at the end of the competition. And I didn't say this earlier, Michelle, but I love how much you know everybody, how much like you saw people by sight and you know their story and you know who they are. Is just been tremendous to be announcing alongside of the both of you. So I just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been...
Okay. We're going to do a little bit of a shuffling here for the moment and slide over to the other table. But thank you for watching on this screen.
Que vamos recibiendo aquí
hay hueco para todos, ¿no?
a nuestros compas de retransmisión. ¿Tenemos hueco para todos?
Yo creo que sí, ¿no?
Ahí se sienta mientras vemos a Anatoly en la lejanía. Venga, que
Qué bien
tenemos ahí
teneros cerca.
a Charlie. Venga, vamos a despedir, pero aquí marcáis vosotros este momento de despedida porque nos tenéis que decir cómo tenemos que hacerlo, ¿no, Charlie?
¿Cómo hacemos la despedida?
So how should we say
goodbye? How we just...
We should probably do a jigsaw jig on the way out, shouldn't we, right? That makes the most sense.
Dancing? Lo tienes,
Yeah, do a little dance. Everybody's doing it.
We don't dance.
Well, you're going to today. I believe in you.
Only-
Yeah, everybody just do a little jigsaw dance on the way out.
Hay que bailar,
There it is.
¿eh?
Yeah, there. Oh, look at them shoulders. There we go.
Pues
Everybody's doing the
bailando,
thing.
disfrutando este campeonato.
Oh, there's
Bravo,
the
gran
we made
trabajo,
it, we made it.
compañeros. Nos vamos bailando y
Goodbye,
venimos
everyone.
enseguida.
Bye, everybody.
See you Goodbye. next
Thanks for
year.
having us.
Venga, Thank you. bailando.
Congratulations to all the puzzlers. Well, there it is.
Thank you and goodbye. Todo el mundo a bailar. Venga, vamos a bailar.
Oh, we're going to do it again. Yeah, there we go. We're just going to keep that going. We're going to keep
Muchas
the groove.
gracias. Venga,
Yeah, I
nos
feel like that
vamos.
gopher.
Nos vamos de este
The
campeonato.
Caddyshack gopher. Does the hat speak?